Alrighty, so it says we're live in here. Let's see what we have here for Q&A. Okay, so let me see here. Okay, I just want to make sure that this thing's actually set up. It's not really calculating if anyone's here. If someone is here, can you guys like write a comment or question message? Let me make sure you all can hear me okay. And then I'll go ahead and talk about what we're going to do and begin this awesome game we're going to create. Let me see here. Let me just make sure. Make sure. Okay, awesome. Good stuff. Okay, cool. Welcome, guys. I just want to make sure everyone here can hear me. It's weird. It says I see your questions or I see what you've answered, but I don't actually see you guys in the room. So I want to make sure you guys can actually hear me. If you guys can do exactly what you just did, just say I can. I heard you say I can see it, but can you hear it? Can you hear? All right, awesome. Good. Hey, Steven, what's up? All right, so in this live stream, guys, we're going to go ahead and create some awesome Portal game mechanics. I tried to do the encoder stuff with the live event. I was really excited for it. I had it working, and then literally 10 minutes before it was saying it was good, but it wasn't being accepted. So YouTube can get the middle finger today. But all right, so here's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be using Unity 5, and we're going to go ahead and create. We're going to create a first-person type shooter game that's going to have portal mechanics. So if you ever played the game Portal, you're going to be able to create portals. You're going to be able to see through those portals. You're going to be able to walk through them. I'm going to show you guys some cool camera tricks that you'll be able to use in your game. We're also going to go over objectives. You guys can at any time ask questions. You can request anything. What's going to happen is I got some really cool things I want to show you. A friend of mine, Antonio, created this awesome crystal for me. And the crystal is 20 pieces. And what we're going to do is I'm going to give you guys that part. And what's going to happen is we're going to shoot the crystal, and it's going to explode into 20 pieces. So it's going to start out as one whole crystal. When you shoot it, it's going to just blow up. It's going to be pretty cool. So that's going to be the excitement or the climax of this series here. I'm going to try and make this as interactive as I can. Most of my live streams are just you really getting to watch me and hearing my thought process. Today I'm actually going to do it more tutorial. I'm going to let you guys catch up with me. Any art assets I use, I will give to you. Unfortunately, due to the encoding, I didn't really have a lot of time to prepare the assets, so you have to forgive me that I prepare them in real time with you. And so let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. I got 3 monitors up here, so let me make sure I get the right one here. All right, so you guys should be able to see the mono develop that I have right here. And while you guys are looking at that, I'm actually going to just go ahead and 1 second here. Just telling everyone who goes to that YouTube channel, check the description. I have Steam codes. I will be giving those out randomly through the videos, maybe at the end. I'll be passing them out on Facebook and Twitter and in the chat. All right, so what we're going to do here, I'm just going to go to my Dropbox here, get some assets that I'm going to be giving you guys. And I'm going to be posting them just through some file sharing thing, and I'll post them in the comments. And you'll be able to download them, and I will give everyone anywhere between 60 seconds to download them, and then I'll continue again. And give me just 1 second here to get some things ready. Let's see here. Alrighty, so the primary assets for this game are really going to be, we're going to use a lot of primitive shapes. So we're going to be creating the gun from scratch, just using cubes and stuff like that. We're going to use a capsule. We're going to use the crystal, which is a 3D model, and maybe if we have time, we'll put a nice shader on it and textures and actually make it look really cool. But we're going to be using crosshairs. I'll give you guys some options with crosshairs you can select from. And I think really when it comes to assets, it might be it. If I think of anything else, I will let you know. We may go on the asset store and get some free enemy models that we want to use for our game, and we'll be able to do that. So just bear with me another minute here while I extract some of the assets we're going to use. And awesome, we have 9 people here. It'd mean a lot to me, guys, if you could share this channel. I've been posting it around, getting people hyped for this. So if you guys could like the video and advertise it wherever. All right, we're about to begin. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open up Unity 5 here. I'm going to show you guys my Unity in just a minute. But let's see. Just want to make sure I can see all this stuff. One second. Okay. And put this over here. Okay, all right, and we're good. So what we're going to do here is we're going to open up a new project of Unity. So you guys should be able to see my Unity projects getting started. Let's go ahead and create a new project. All right, I'm going to go ahead and name this Portal Tutorial. All right, it's technically a Portal game. You can name it whatever you want. All right, go ahead and make sure it's 3D. I thought about doing this in 2D, but it was no fun without proper art assets. So we're going to do it in 3D. All right, so go ahead and create your project. Is there an estimate on how long the stream will last? I'm thinking the stream is going to last, Andrew asked that. I'm thinking it's going to last about maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours. I'm going to try not to go over that. If I go a little quickly, if I go too quickly, you guys feel free to slow me down if you need to. You can ask questions, I'll answer them. I'm going to try and use what you've learned in my new fundamentals series as well as intermediate series. We're going to work with some of those concepts, try and implement some interfaces and get some class structures in there. Someone mentioned events and delegates, and I probably will cover them briefly in this live stream, and I'll use a delegate and event. But I'd rather save that for an actual video where you'll be able to understand it fully, because they are a sick feature in C#, and I love them. Use them every day. All right, so I'm going to go through and select some of these questions. Just make sure we're all clear here. Everyone's going, oh my god, that's going to be real cool. Awesome. Let's see here. Go through these. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and make sure you guys can see my Unity. Make sure everything's, the view is okay. And the first thing we're going to do here is I'm just going to do some script folder organizations. All right, so our folders are going to be, we need a scripts folder. We're going to have a models folder. We're also going to have some materials. So we got our models, materials, we got our scripts. We have our models, materials, we have our scripts. We have a model. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. Okay, so we're gonna have materials, models, scripts, and then go ahead and create a scenes folder as well, because we might have scenes. And if we have time, if we don't make it to the 2-hour mark, I'd like to create a menu with this using the new UI system. Tons of cool stuff that you can do. Steven says I can hear you fine. Awesome, thank you. All right, so here's what we're gonna do, guys. Go ahead and let's start off with a floor. Go ahead and create a 3D cube and just go ahead and name it floor. Or you can name it ground. Let's name it ground. All right, and then go ahead on the X, you're gonna make it 50, and on the Z, you're gonna make it 50. All right, this is just gonna be our ground that we're gonna walk on for now. And for the directional light, you might wanna change the rotation to 30, -30, so it's not so dark. And actually, Unity 5 gives you this automatically. They give you a, okay, so real quickly, Roland asked if I would say something about async methods. Async methods are used when, I use them in asset bundling, which I'll probably create a tutorial on soon. I'd really rather not get into async methods, but if we have time, I can show you what an async method looks like when loading a level. Okay, so go ahead and create a ground, create a directional light. Unity 5 gives you this default skybox. I personally don't like it, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. If you click on the main camera, you'll see here it says clear flags. Go ahead and just change that to solid color. And that will give you the original Unity that you're used to. All right, so first thing we're going to do here, we have our ground. Let's go ahead and create our character. So I'm going to go to game object, 3D object, and then I'm going to go ahead and create a capsule. All right, I'm going to go ahead and rename it player. And we're going to be doing a lot of this. We're going to do it all from scratch. So here we have our capsule. Go ahead and just put them above ground. Now, what we need to do here is we need a player script that's going to control its movement. So go and create a new C# script. Go ahead and name it player. All right, and you can drag that onto your player. And for this, I'm going to use the character controller that's provided by Unity. All right, so I'm going to open up the scripting reference here so we can take a look at that real quickly. All right, you'll see here, if we go to the character controller, if you're not familiar with what that is, it's basically, you have two options in Unity. You can use a rigid body to move your character, or you can use a character controller. A character controller allows you to move without the use of a rigid body. It means instead of using the physics engine, which for some games, you know, it can be very heavy to use the physics engine, you are able to create your own physics. And ideally, that's what we're going to be doing with the character controller. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to this move function. We have two move functions, move and a simple move. The difference between them is that simple move will automatically apply gravity, where move, you have to create your own gravity. So we're going to go with the move, okay? And you'll see here that we have a description of it, and we got some variables for speed, jump speed, gravity, and then the main chunk of the code is right here. Now looking at it, it looks disgusting. So I'm going to actually show you guys, if you've seen one of my other live streams, we're going to cover a better way to create this. Because ideally, looking at this code, you'll see here we have a vector3 move direction variable. And then what we're doing here is they're doing get component. Okay, so just like they're using, you need access to the character controller, so you can call this function right here. It's the move function. So they have a handle called character controller controller. Notice they're doing it in update. Totally bad. Don't ever do that. And what they're doing here is they're assigning it to that component, and then it has a function called isGrounded. So that checks if you're grounded automatically. You don't have to do anything. Now, here's the confusing part. So here, they're saying move direction equals a new vector3, and then they're doing the inputs of the keys. So that's basically your direction of movement based on user input. So if you hit the left key, you're going to go to the left. It's just creating a vector for the direction you need to move in. This here is converting local space to world space, and we will cover that in a second because we're going to use that. And then this right here, if you actually look at like what this is, it says move direction equals move direction times speed. That's velocity. I don't know why they don't just create a variable for velocity, but you could. So what we're going to do here is we're going to actually take this example and we're going to all right, sorry guys. I think the internet totally crapped out there. What we're going to be doing now is we're going to use the scripting reference example, and we're going to create our own physics-based character controller using that example. So when it comes to creating this player class, we need a few variables just like that script had. We have a speed variable, right, for our player. So we have public float speed. Let's go ahead and say our speed is 5, right? So 5.0f. You have a gravity variable. So, and I'm actually going to make gravity private because I'm not going to want to change it. I'm not going to want to change it later. It's the gravity. It shouldn't change in the game. Yeah, digital breakdown. Sorry, I was frozen. Well, now your internet provider can get the middle finger. Yeah, now my middle. Yes, thank you. Okay, sorry guys. Yeah, the internet kind of went down for a minute. If it does, let me know, and if I need to step back, just tell me. Okay, I don't mind stepping back. So we have our speed variable, and what we need now. And I'm actually going to go ahead and I don't know if you guys can really see this that well. Let's go ahead and go to zoom in. I hope that's a little better for you guys. So we have a speed variable. We're going to have a gravity variable. And I'm going to create a private variable for that because I'm not going to want to change it. So we're going to say private float underscore gravity. And we're going to set that to 1. Alrighty. So here we have public float speed equals 5.0f, our gravity. We also need, what else do we need here? Okay, so we can jump in our game. So we're going to need a jump height. So we'll say public float jump height, and we'll say equals 10. All right, so we have speed, jump height, gravity, and actually, you know what? I'm actually going to use what they did in the scripting reference, and I'm going to set this to 20. And then we're also going to go ahead and say here, and actually, I don't know if I like that. I don't know how I want to do this, actually. Is anyone else frozen? Someone tell me if this thing is frozen or not. Is everyone able to see? Everyone's live. Some viewers are saying that the screen is frozen. Is anyone else having issues? There should be a Q&A box you guys can talk in if you haven't found it yet. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and continue. And actually, guys, to speed up this player class, because that's not the most important part, we're actually going to go ahead and use the example, but we're going to clean it up. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to take the variables of it. All right, we're going to just copy that in here. I'm totally against copying and pasting, but we're going to do that right here. Remove your void update and void start, and just paste this in here. So what we have here is our speed, which is 6, our jump speed, which you can change to jump height. And then we have our gravity set to 20. And then we have a private vector3 underscore move direction equals vector3.0. So right now that move direction is going to be based on our user input, okay? And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this character controller equals get component crap. I'm going to take that out of update. That's horrible practice. And I'm going to actually properly cache it. So I'm going to say private character controller and then underscore controller. All right, and then in void start, we're going to go ahead and assign that controller. So I'm going to say controller equals get component character controller. All right, so now that we have access to the controller, what we can do now is we can check if we're grounded, right, which it's doing. And if we're grounded, we're going to go ahead and say here, they're doing it like this. They're saying new vector3 input.getAccess horizontal, 0 for y, and then the vertical inputs for z. To me, that's a little messy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create float h equals the input.getAccess. And then we have horizontal. All right, and I'm going to replace this with h, just so it's a lot cleaner. All right, I'm going to do the same thing for vertical. I'm going to take the vertical. I'm going to put a v there. And we're going to say float vertical for v equals input.getAccess vertical. All right, so if the controller is grounded, so if we're touching the ground, we're going to get the WSAD keys, and then we're going to say our move direction, which is a vector, we're going to say equals the direction that we want to move in based on WSAD or arrow keys. Then what we're going to do here is we're going to say move direction equals transform direction. And I'm actually going to comment that out because I want you guys to see what happens when we don't use that, and it will make transform direction make sense. But basically, it's going to make it so wherever our camera looks, our player will walk. Otherwise, we might be looking to the left, but you'll be walking straight if we don't include this line. And then what we're going to do is velocity, which is move direction with speeds. All right, so speed times direction is just velocity. And then here, they're checking for if you jump, and move direction.y equals your jump height. Okay, and then here they're subtracting the gravity multiplied by time.delta time, and then this function here, controller.move, the move direction times time.delta time. This is actually what's making you move. Okay, without this, you can't move. If you comment that out, you cannot move. If you guys are just tuning in, I haven't really done much. I've just grabbed the character controller that the scripting reference gives us, and I've modified it very little. But what you can do is you can take that exact example and put it in a player script, and it will work right out of the box. So right now, our update method here is getting a little clustered. And what we're going to do, yeah, you're welcome. If anyone else needs me to zoom in even more, just let me know. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to clean this up a bit. So I'm going to create a function for calculating movement. So I'm going to say void calculate movement. And I'm going to put everything that's an update into that function. And that's the whole point of object-oriented programming, guys. It's to basically create smaller bits of code that make up your program, it's easier to debug your programs, and it's just a lot better to read. If I ever have an issue with my player character moving, well, I can instantly debug it because I know exactly what function to look for. So that's really why we use custom functions in C# and C++. It's just object-oriented. So now that we have our calculate movement function, we need to make use of it. So we're going to say calculate movement here. Alrighty, that's about as much as the copy and paste as we're going to get, just because I didn't really want to write out the player script. Everything else from here on out, we have to do from scratch. And first thing we need to do is get our player moving. So I'm actually going to go ahead and uncomment this. This line here is going to allow you to move in world space relative to your camera. So if you're looking straight, you're going to move straight. If you're looking right, you're going to move right. And what we're going to do now is we're going to continue setting up our player. So someone asked, how do I get a Steam code? So what I'm going to do, guys, is at about a 30-minute mark. I started at 9:15. So at 10 p.m., I will go ahead and release a Steam code to the chat room. And I'll probably release one every 15, 20 minutes. I'll be putting some on Twitter at DGI Students, and I'll be putting some on the Facebook page. If you're not following any of those, I recommend you do. You can find all the links on digitalgaminginstitute.com. Before the start of every Steam giveaway, I'm also probably going to show the intro video so you guys can know to get ready for it, because I'm not going to just say, here's the Steam giveaway. I'm just going to post them. And that's going to be your cue. You'll be able to see that video, and you'll know there's a Steam code coming. All right, so this line here just makes it so you can move relative to your camera. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to close out our player here, go back into Unity. And before we can do anything, before that script will actually work, is we need to add a character controller component. That's going to give us access to the API that we just used. And now that we have that, we should be able to test it out. All right, we have an error. It says the name controller does not exist. Oh, okay. I changed mine. So my private variable to use an underscore. So if underscore controller. And change it under here, underscore controller. All right, now we should be good. Just kidding. What are all these up? What's wrong? Controller.move, move direction. Okay, move direction is also private. Move direction, private. Underscores, underscores. All right, hopefully we're good now. Underscore move direction.y equals jump height. The name move direction does not exist. I must have missed one right here. Okay, now that that's all settled, it's going here. I'm just going to check out the chat Q&A thing. I'm fine, thanks for zooming in. Great, 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 good. I can see in here again. Awesome, good stuff. I'm fine, thanks for zooming in. All right, good stuff. All right, so guys, what we're going to do now is we got our player here. Let's go ahead and put it on their player, make sure everything's there. Go ahead and run the game, and you should be able to move around. You'll see here we can move around pretty nicely, and we can jump. Now, the only problem here is that we need to now create our camera movement system. And we're going to actually do that from scratch. We're going to create our own mouse look system. So the way we're going to do this is we need to create a pivot point for our camera. Because if right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the main camera inside of player, which makes the camera follow the player, okay? Right now I'm moving around, but you probably can't really tell because the main camera is attached to me. Oh, no, there you go. Oh, actually, it wasn't attached. All right, hold on. Put the main camera on the player, and then here we go. So we want the main camera to follow the player, okay? And what we need to do now is we need to make it to where, based on where our mouse is on the screen, we're going to rotate to that. The way we do that is we need to access the Euler angles. And we do that through working with quaternions in Unity, okay? So rotations are handled through quaternions, which are Euler angles. You'll see here in the inspector on the main camera, we have an X rotation, Y rotation, Z rotation. These are the individual axes along the Euler angle. So the X Euler angle is just the rotation along the X axis. Same goes for Y and Z. They're just the rotation along that axis is what the Euler angle is. And what we need to do is we need to modify it. So for instance, if I move my mouse to the left, I need to move like the camera is your neck. You pivot your neck to the left to look left. We need to do the same thing. So if my mouse is centered in the screen, it's 0. If I go to the left, it's -1. If I go all the way to the right with my mouse, it's +1. There's an input access that Unity allows us to grab what that value is. Now, what we need to do with that value is we need to add that to our Y rotation. So if it's -1, we look to the left. If it's +1, we look to the right. Okay? And before we do that, we need to get set up in our first person view here. If you go ahead and look at your camera here, go ahead and just move them closer. You can move them up. I'll give you my rotation values once I'm happy with this. And we're just gonna, right here, I think is good. Let's go ahead and just move around, make sure everything's good. Yeah, okay, good. I can't see the camera, I can move around, we're pretty good. So the values I have right here, guys, my player is at 1.97 on the Y. My main camera is at 0.9 on the Y, and the Z is -0.26. All right, so if you want to follow along with me, otherwise you can go ahead and move it wherever you'd like. So now that we have our first person view, let's go ahead and make it to where based on where my mouse is on the screen, we can look left and right. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to create a look X script. So I'm going to say here, look X for the X horizontal axis. We're going to look along the X axis, but we need to rotate along the Y axis. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you guys how to get that input. And if you guys look in your project settings, there's an input for mouse X and mouse Y, which return a float value of where your mouse is. So what we need to do here is create a variable that's going to hold that mouse X position. So I'm going to say here, public float mouse X. And the reason why I'm making it public is because I want you guys to see what it is. In update, I'm going to say mouse X equals the input manager, and I'm going to get access, and the axis I want is mouse X, space X. All right, I'm going to show you guys that as well. If you go here, edit, go to project settings, go to input. Shit, is it loading? Why am I having all these connections? Bookends. Okay, hold on. So the internet is working fine here. Is everyone connected still? Is it moving? I hope it's moving. If someone can just confirm real quickly that's moving, I'll go ahead and continue. Not sure what's with all the lag issues. There should not be lag issues. Google for me is loading fine, so I'm going to go ahead and continue. All right, so make sure you guys can actually see and hear. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. All right, guys, I'm just taking this. I haven't had connection problems since I've started watching. Okay, great. All right, that's all I needed to hear. Holy shit. All right, hey guys, I hope you guys can still hear me. Something is massively going off. Somebody just started now giving me problems happening a minute ago. So I have no idea if it's me or YouTube or what's going on. But no sound in the screen yet. The second you read the comment, your stream stopped. Let me see here. Okay, everyone's back. Everyone's back. Everyone's back. Okay, I hope you guys didn't miss a lot. Hopefully the stream actually captures what happens during the time that it's not live streaming and you guys can actually catch up. Seriously, I don't know what's going on with Google. It stopped. I can hear you. Okay, it stopped. Squeeze it through Twitch. Okay. All right, guys, I hope everyone can hear me still. Basically, what I was saying before it got cut out is we need to affect the local Euler angles to be rotated along the x-axis. I'm sorry, the axis that we want. And what I was saying is that the line of code that we're looking at here is getting really long, and you'll see it's going off the screen. So I'm going to do this a better way, and they're called temporary variables. And what they are is it allows you to create a temp variable, in that temp variable, and then assign some value to the temp variable. So in this example here, if I wanted to create a temp variable, because what do we want to do? Let's write it out. I want to grab current rotation. Okay, I want to grab the current rotation. I want to modify the y value. I want to modify the y value by adding the mouse x value. Okay. So instead of doing this through my transform.local Euler angles equals a new vector 3, which I could do, I can do this through a temp variable. And the way I do that is I'm going to create a vector 3, because that's what a local Euler angle is, and I'm going to say new rotation, because we're basically adding rotation, right? So I'm going to say vector 3 new rotation equals my transform.local Euler angles, okay? So right now, this vector 3 variable holds the x, y, and z rotations, all right? It holds the x, y, and z rotations. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and modify one of those rotations through the variable, which is temporary. It has no effect right now. I'm just going to modify it. I'm going to say new rotation, and I want the y value. I'm going to say plus equals to add the mouse x. Now, if I just save this, nothing's going to work, nothing's going to happen. This is just a variable that holds my current rotation values. And all I've done is I've taken the y value and I've said add the mouse x value. What I need to do now is I need to assign this variable, which is holding our current angles with a modified y, I need to assign it to the current angles. So I'm going to say here, my transform.local Euler angles equals the new rotation variable, which is the same values but with a modified y. So it allows us to take one line of code that's long as can be and turn it into 3 simplified lines. All right, these are called temp variables. They're very useful when it comes to programming. If you've ever seen an error that says consider storing it in a temp variable, this is exactly what it's talking about. The way you trigger that error is if you were to try something like this. You can't say transform.position.y equals 5. The reason being is because in C#, you're not allowed to ignore the XZ axis. You need to acknowledge all 3 of the vector 3 components. You need to acknowledge the X, Y, and Z. So if I compile this, it's going to say consider storing this in a temp variable. The other solution is saying transform.position equals a new vector 3, and then you specify the position. All right, so let's go ahead and save this, and let's go ahead and test it out. So if we go to look on our player here, mouse X, look, and if I go ahead, you'll see in the scene view that now we can actually look around based on my mouse movements. You'll see that. Pretty cool. So there we go, custom mouse look script on the x-axis. Now we need to do the y-axis. And you'll notice it might be a little slow, and if it is, you can actually create a mouse sensitivity variable. You can create a variable called public float, we'll say sensitivity. Okay, and let's go ahead and set it to, like, I don't know, let's set it to 2.0f. And what you can do now is you can go to where you're adding your mouse x value, which is a very tiny decimal value, and you can multiply it by your sensitivity. And that's how you create mouse sensitivity. All right, so now it's quite fast. And there you go. All right, so I'm happy with this speed for now. Let's go and do the up and down one. So now for looking up and down, you'll notice with your neck, you're actually rotating along the x-axis. The x-axis is what's going to allow you to look up and down, just like this. All right, so we're going to do the exact same thing, except for looking up and down, it's based on where your mouse is on the x and y axis. All right, so for this, what we need to do is we need to go ahead and we need to create a new C# script. Go ahead and create a look y script. All right, and this is pretty much just like, this is just the tedious part of this. We're about to get into the fun stuff after this when we start creating portals and talking about what's required for that. So just hang on a little bit longer and let's get through the character controller here. So you're gonna, now we're not gonna put the look Y script on the player. If we do that, you're gonna cause the player to look up and down on the x-axis, making the actual capsule rotate. We don't want that to happen. So what we need to do now is we actually need to create a pivot point for our player. The way we're going to do that is you're going to just go ahead and create an empty object. Right-click your player, create empty, and go ahead and just name it look Y. And what you're going to do is you're going to put your main camera inside of that object, and you're going to zero it out. All right, and your look Y object is going to just zero it out, and you should be okay. Let me make sure. Look Y should be 0, 0, 0, and actually, hold on. I think the main camera can actually stay where it was. Go ahead and you can move that back up to like 0.89. Yeah, that's fine. Move it up to 0.89. Oops. Let me make sure. Okay, yeah, you can keep that 0.89. All right, so and then it looks like I zeroed out Z. That should be fine too. All right, so now we have this look Y game object. This look Y game object is what's going to actually allow us to look up and down. Okay, so what we're going to do here, and actually, one second. I want to make sure. Okay, yeah, we're good. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put our look Y script on the look Y game object. All right, let me just go through these Q&A things real quickly. All right, good stuff. Okay, so let's go and open that up, and we're going to do the exact same thing. All right, so we need a variable that's going to be for the mouse Y. All right, so the value of where our mouse is on the screen for mouse Y. And we're going to say mouse Y equals input.getAccess, and then mouse Y. All right, we're going to do the exact same thing. We need to create a sensitivity variable. I'd keep it the exact same as what it was in the other script. So public float sensitivity. All right, and you can set that to 2.0f. And then what we need to do here is we should cache our transform. All right, and if you'd like, you should be able to try this out on your own. What value do you guys think we are going to modify when it comes to rotating for the look Y? Are we going to modify the X, Y, or the Z? Say my transform equals this dot transform. Give me 1 second here. While you guys figure out how to do this script, I will be getting the Steam codes. If anyone knows the answer to what rotation we need to rotate for the main camera to look up and down, let me know in the Q&A. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. Z, okay, so one person said Z, one person said X. X, yes, correct. So the rotation we need to do is the X axis. All right, so the way you would do that is, once again, you need a vector3 variable for your new rotation. All right, you're going to set that to your Euler angle. So my transform.local Euler angles. So we want to grab that y object's Euler angles, and we want to change the x value. We want to add, so plus equals, you want to add the values of mouse y times your sensitivity. All right, and then what you need to do is we need to go ahead and say our my transform.local Euler angles equals the new rotation. Okay, and there you go. So if you go ahead and test this out, and actually it might be inverted for some of you. Check this out. If you go ahead and run it, and you look up and down, it might feel like up is looking down when you go up on the screen, and down is looking up. That's an inversion issue. And as you click on your look y object, you see where it says mouse y equals input.getAccess, move mouse y? All you have to do is put a negative sign right before that. Just put a negative sign there, go ahead and save that, and it should work perfectly. There may be a few issues with this where you can look through the bottom. For instance, you might be able to see through the floor. If that's the case, you can try moving your camera up a little bit. We're not clamping the value, so you can probably look completely all the way around you if you kept going. But for the most part, it should feel pretty natural. You should be able to move and walk around where you're aiming. I hope everyone is. If someone confirmed that's how it's working for you, then we can go ahead and continue. And we'll go ahead and get started on doing the portal stuff. I'm going to go ahead and do some Steam giveaways here. And I'm going to post the first one on the Facebook page. So if you guys aren't on the Facebook page, go to digitalgaminginstitute.com to get the links. It's facebook.com/digitalgaminginstitute. All you have to do is just like the page so you can view what's on it. All right, give me just a minute here. Let's see. Okay. All right, and if you get the, yes, x-axis chart. And if you get the Steam code, feel free to mention what game you got, as well as, just commenting saying you won it if you have activated, because you might need to activate them immediately. I don't know. I'd have Steam open for when you get it. Alrighty. So let me just make sure I have them all right here. Some of these, let me see. Let me make sure. All right, let's see here. All right, guys, here we go. Let me see. Where are all the Steam words? Okay, here we go. So the first one here. Oh, actually, guys, you know what? It's a claim service. So hold on. Okay, so what's going to happen here is I'm going to go ahead and we're going to post a link to this thing. Let's see here. It sucks. All right, hold on, guys. I actually have to do it through my email here. 1 second. Alrighty, hold on. All right, guys, I'm on the Digital Gaming Institute Facebook page now. I'll give you everyone another 30 seconds to go to that site. The website link is digitalgaminginstitute.com, and then the link is going to be posted on the Facebook page. The next one's going to be Twitter. The next one, and then after that, we can put some in this chat room here. So go to facebook.com/digitalgaminginstitute. Yes, Roland, I will go ahead and show you my script in just a minute here. Give me just 1 second here. All right, guys. It's going to be whoever can do it first. It says give this link to your friend. I'm going to go ahead and post it on the Facebook page, and whoever gets it, I'd love it if you come back in this chat, say you want it. Here you go. All right, there you go. So it's on the Facebook page, and all you have to do is click that link, put in your email, and you'll be generated a Steam code. I have many more, tons from previous ones, as well as a lot of donators who contributed. So we'll do some more throughout the video tonight. And what I'm going to do now is, if you need any trouble, if you have problems with your game, I'm going to go ahead and show you the LookX script here. If you have problems, just let me know. Roland, you mentioned you had an issue. If you can tell me, if you can write out in more detail what's exactly which script or what's wrong. Make sure that you have a pivot for your player. All right, so that means that you have an empty object named lookY. That's a child of the player. And inside of that is the main camera. The main camera has no scripts on it. It's the y-axis is 0.89 on the position. And then the lookX is 000. And it has a mouse Y and a sensitivity variable. All right, and when you play it, it really should just move around like this, and you should be able to look up and down, and all that's good, and you should look to the left, be able to move to the left, and basically you should just move in the direction you're facing. The reason that happens is because of that code in our player that's transforming the direction from local space to world space. Holy cannoli, that was fast. Did someone get it? Did someone not get it? If you got that, then let me know. 500 people are going to receive that code, so only one of you guys are going to get it. Roland says, thank you for the key. I got many more, some really cool stuff here. Let's go and continue if everyone's caught up. Feel free to go ahead and share this video, guys. We have 8 people now. I think we had like 12 not too long ago. The more we can get, the better. And let me see here. Let's go ahead and continue. Let me see. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to go ahead and continue here. So what we have now is our working player controller. What I want to do now is let's go ahead and create a new folder and go ahead and name it textures. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a file sharing site, and I'm going to give you guys the option of downloading several textures that you can use. We're going to create a crosshair that's going to be used for aiming our gun, basically, okay? That we're going to create. So let me go ahead. I think we're going to use, does Up-It still work? Yeah, it does. All right, good stuff. So we're going to go ahead and use Up-It. I have a selection of crosshairs you can use. Once that's generated, I will post the link for you guys. Go ahead and just give me 1 second here. So we got new crosshairs. All right, it's uploading, and we're done. Okay. All right, guys, so here is the link for this. It sucks that I'm not actually linked for Steam codes. Hey, Eleanor, if you're just joining, I just gave a Steam code. I'm going to give another one away in about 15-20 minutes. Make sure you're following on digitalgaminginstitute.com, Facebook, and Twitter, where I'll be tweeting the codes. All right, so let me just go through these Q&A, make sure I could. Please show me the code for another second. Yeah, Roland, if you still need the code, here is the mouse X1. It's the same thing as the mouse Y, just different access. Here's the look X, and here's the look Y. Guys, all right, so here's what everyone needs to do. You need to go to this link here. And I'm going to see if I can post this somewhere. If someone can post this in the Q&A, or let me go to the Hangout page that you're on. If I go to this Say Something, you should be able to see it there if I hit share. It's just an up it link. Does that work? Does that not work? All right, guys. Actually, no, if you go to the Facebook page, I'm just going to post it there. Download, download crosshair assets for the live stream here. You guys visit the Facebook page real quickly. There's an up it link right there. Go ahead and download that. There's 5 textures in there. You can pick whichever one you want to use. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to give you guys about maybe 30 more seconds to go grab that. And then I'm going to go ahead and continue. Alrighty, and let's see here. All right, let's go to update now in Hangout. Okay, that's all good. All right, good stuff. So let's go ahead and continue here. What we're going to do now is, thank you for the key. You're welcome. I take it Rolando won. Good job. Congratulations. You're welcome. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do now, guys, is we need to display these crosshairs. So I'm going to go ahead and actually import the crosshairs, that entire folder you can import. So I'm just going to go to where I saved it. And I'm just going to go and take all the crosshairs that are in there. I'm going to put them in my textures folder. All right. Now, for this, I'm actually going to use the old legacy GUI system because it's just easier to center this on the screen, and that's really only that's the only thing it's going to be used for. Any other graphical user stuff we use is going to use the new 4.6. Now, what I want for this crosshair, I'm going to choose this first crosshair. Now, when you import these, you're going to notice that they all look like black boxes except for the first one. That's because they're not textures. They're technically legacy textures. We need to set that. So we need to set them as GUI textures. So if you select them all and then go to texture in this inspector here, and if you go to editor GUI and legacy GUI and hit apply, it's going to look a lot better. All right, now they're going to become transparent, and you can actually see what the crosshairs are. All right, so one more thing is that they're actually a little too big. Right now we have them set to max size 2048. Go ahead and change that to about 64 by 64. And if it's too big for you, you can always just change it to 32, or if it's too small, up it to 128. So the crosshair that I'm going to use is this first one here. That's just a circle, really. And with that, you should be able to actually see them here. Yeah, so we have a circle. We have this, this, that one, this, and that. And I'm going to go ahead and just use this normal, I'm going to use this, normal circle crosshair here. And what I'm going to do now is I need a GUI manager script that's going to display it. All right, so I'm going to go in here. I'm going to create a GUI manager, and I'm going to put this on the main camera. Now, it's a GUI manager. There's only ever going to be one of them. So if you watch my videos, who can tell me? Thank you, John, for doing that. I'll post a link here. I didn't see it on the Facebook page. It should be on the Facebook page. I think, John, if someone can post the up it link, that would be really great. If you guys can all do that, that would be awesome. Someone can do that, because apparently I'm not able to type in here, which I don't know why. Someone post a link here. John. Okay, so what we need to do, guys, is in this GUI manager, we're going to turn it into a singleton. So if you're not familiar with what a singleton is, I have a video on it, but ideally a singleton allows us to create an instance of this object, and it allows easy access to it, as well as lazy instantiation, which is used for spawning it if the item doesn't exist. So it's just a design pattern that allows us to easily access and implement manager classes. So what we're going to do here is, if you remember in the video, is you need a private variable of the script type. So this is a GUI manager. So we have a private static, and the reason why it's static is because we want the memory of this object to be in the game for the life of the program. We don't want the garbage collection to come and clean it up. So we're going to say private static, and then we're going to say GUI manager, and then I'm going to say underscore instance. This is just a variable name. It can be whatever you want it. Whatever you want it to be called, but I call it instance because it's an instance. There's only one instance of a GUI manager. Now that we have our static variable that's private, that variable is going to return all public information. So now we need a property that's public. So public static GUI manager, And we're going to say capital instance, and then use the curly braces. I'm going to get rid of this void start void update. Now, when we have an instance here, or when we're creating a property, we have our get and set accessors. Thank you, Andrew Peterson, for doing the crosshair up it thing. Thank you. Now, guys, within property, you have your getters and setters. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, there's a video on Singleton managers in the intermediate series that I covered. I recommend go watching it. But basically, we have getters and setters. So when you get the instance, what do we want to do? We want to first check if the instance exists. So if the instance is null, we need to create it. So we're going to say game object, and we'll just say go, all right, for game object equals a new game object. And I'm going to name it GUI manager. All right, and then after that, I need to add this script to the game object we just created. So go.add component, because every script is a component, everything's a component in Unity. We need to say GUI manager, and then there we go. Now, what if it's not null? Then this line of code gets called. We need to return _ instance. And that's going to allow us access to all public variables and functions inside of this manager class. Now, what I'm going to do here is we need to create an awake function. So while the object is loading, I want to say the instance is this object, this script. Okay, so this script is the instance. There should only ever be one. If this script doesn't have an instance, then we're going to create one. Simple as that. All right, so everyone should have their GUI manager singleton prepared and ready to go. Now that we have this, we're going to go ahead and create the onGUI function. So we're going to say here void onGUI, which is capital O, lowercase n, capital GUI. And what we're going to do now is, before anything else too, is we need to create a variable that's going to hold your crosshair. So your crosshair is a texture. So you're going to say public texture, and then you're going to say crosshair. Now in the inspector, you're going to click on your main camera, and you can assign that crosshair. So you'll see here in the main camera, I have a crosshair variable. It's looking for a texture. Pick any one you want. Go ahead and put whatever crosshair you want there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up MonoDevelop here. And what we want to do is we want to center that crosshair. Now, how do we center the crosshair? What do we need to do? What is centering an object? For instance, say we had this line here, okay, this dotted line, and here is 100 and here is 0. I want the crosshair to be here at 50. How do I get that? I just divide by 2, right? Well, that's how easy it is to center something. You're just dividing by 2. So what we're going to do here is we need to create a draw texture that's going to hold our crosshair. So we're going to say GUI.drawTexture. And it says a rect position, which is just a rectangle position. So we're going to say new rect. And what we have here is a float left. So from the left, I want it to be, we need to divide by 2, right? From the left. Or actually, shit. Hold on. I'm sorry. For the left in the top, we actually want it to be 0. We don't want it to be anything left and right, 0. And actually, I'm sorry, we do. This is where we need to divide by 2. We need to divide by 2 here to get the center of the screen on the x-axis. And then from the top, which is the y-axis, we need to divide by 2 to get the center as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create variables for that, actually. So I'm just going to say new rect here. And then the texture image is going to be your crosshair. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say float x equals, it's going to equal the formula of the screen width. Right, so we have 0 to 100, so screen.width, and then we're going to say divide by 2. All right, and then same thing with float y equals screen.height divided by 2. So now we're centered in the middle of the screen. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say from the left is x, from the right is y, and then we have a width and height. I want to use the dot width and the crosshair dot height, so whatever the texture width and height is. Now, this is how you center an image, but we're going to have a problem. Because we're using the crosshair width and height, it's not exactly going to be centered. It's actually going to be offset. And in order to fix that, we need to actually do a bit more to this code. But I want to show you what it's going to look like. So if we run this, you're going to see here, it looks like it's in the center right now. But if I actually run this in full screen, it's not quite in the center. It's actually like a little bit to the right and a little bit to the left at the same time. It's not necessarily directly in the center. And the reason being is because it's offsetted by the texture width and height. So what I need to do is I need to say screen.width minus the crosshair's width, and then divide by 2. So I need to put this in parentheses so that this operation happens first, then we divide by 2. So screen.height minus the crosshair.height, then divide by 2. And that's going to give us the actual center of our screen relative to our crosshair. So now we have this nice centered crosshair, and this is so important that you get these values correct, because when we raycast through the center of the screen, which is going to be used for our gun, if I left it how it was before, then your raycast wouldn't be directly in the center, and where you're aiming isn't exactly where you're shooting. So it's very important that we have this exactly lined up in the center so that our raycast will go directly through the center of the crosshair that we have in place. All right, so I want to make sure everyone's all caught up. If you guys are following along, just give me a simple thumbs up. Make sure everyone has their crosshair centered. What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and create our gun that we're going to go ahead and position, and then we are going to do the portals. So right now, we're at like an hour and a half. I wanted this live stream to be an hour and a half to 2 hours. I don't think that's the case, but I'm willing to go as long as it needs to at least get some of the cool stuff out of the way. And if we have to do another live stream, then maybe we can pick up again tomorrow around 3 p.m. Eastern time, if that works for everyone. So let's go ahead and everyone's caught up here. What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and create our gun. And the way we're going to do this is you need to create a game object and go to 3D object, go to cube. All right, you can go ahead and rename it to gun. And you'll see here it's just a box right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to scale it out. So on the X scale, I'm going to set it to 1.5. Actually, I'm going to keep that 1 maybe. And the forward scale, so the Z scale, I'm going to set to 1.5. I'm going to set the Y to about 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. And then the X is going to be like 0.5, or we'll say 0.2. So the X is 0.2, and I got this gun here. And actually, it's too tall. There we go. Okay, so I'm actually going to keep it at 0.15. All right, so 0.15 on the Y scale, 0.2 on the X scale, and 1.5 on the Z scale. And what we can do now is let's go ahead and parent this to our player. Right, so right now so inside your player, you're going to have your look Y object, and you're going to have your gun. You can make a better gun than mine if you want. I suck at. Okay, so Roland asked, which object did you stick the GUI manager onto? I put it on the main camera. It makes sense that the main camera displays graphical user interfaces, so it makes sense to put it there. You can put it on whatever object you want, though, but I'm putting it on the main camera. So inside of player, you have your look Y object, and you have your gun object here. And what we're going to do now is I can position this wherever I want. So I'm going to go and just get it to where I have a nice like first-person gun. And what I'm going to do here, because it's actually getting a little hard to see, is I'm going to create a material for the gun. So I'm going to go here to materials. We're going to say create material, make gun, and then I'm going to change the color to blue. All right, I'm just going to drag that material onto the gun. Okay, there we go. All right, so, and I might need to actually reposition. Oh, no, okay, we're good. All right, so here's the gun. All right, and let's go ahead and maybe rotate it up a bit. And then, if you guys notice in Portal, their gun's kind of like this, so that's why I'm doing this. Let's go ahead and maybe put it back a bit more, like right there. Okay, so you'll see here, ideally what you want is you want the effect that your gun's kind of pointed where your crosshair is going to be. If I run this on Maximize on Play, you'll see it's not really that good, and I need to move it back more. I need to actually shrink this down a bit. I'm just going to put it here, and let's go ahead and rotate it a bit more, maybe up. Okay, and the reason why this is clipping on my thing is because my camera is actually intersecting with it. So I'm going to just raise this up a bit so that doesn't happen. Alrighty, and let's go ahead and see how that looks. Like I said, guys, make a better gun than me. I had a really good one, and I don't know why this one's not turning out that well. But I don't want to waste too much time on it. So let's see how that looks. Might be fine for what this is. Okay, so this is our gun. And actually, no, guys, hold on. It's going to drive me nuts here. Give me a second. The problem is our main camera needs to be... Okay, guys, go ahead and position your camera, the Z position to like 0.19. And that should bring it a little forward. That way we can't clip it. At least we shouldn't be able to clip it. Let me see here. Set that like that. Okay, so here we go. We have that. Just going to rotate it up to the left. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. You can change the rotation values to what you want. If you want the gun that I have, I don't know why you would. I'll give you the rotation values and everything like that. Yeah, okay. So I'm pretty happy with this. We're going to go with that. So this gun here is using, and you actually don't even need a gun for this, guys. You have your crosshair. But if you want a gun for visualization purposes, you can have it. For me, it's the position is 0.48, 0.73, 0.35. And then the rotation is like 350, 352, and 0. And then the scale, 0.2, 0.15, and 1.5. Alrighty, so I'm just going to check the Hangout here for the Q&A, make sure everyone's caught up. Okay, so what we're going to do is, now that we have our gun, one thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a system to where you'll notice when I'm looking around, my mouse is on the game view. It's very distracting. I'm going to go ahead and lock it. The way you do that is there's a function that actually allows you to just lock your mouse. I'm going to put it in the GUI manager here. What we're going to do, and actually I should put it maybe in the player class since we're already using update. No need to use 2 updates. So let's go ahead and just do it right here. I'm just going to basically say, if I hit the escape key, I'm going to unlock the cursor. So with input.getKeyDown, keycode.escape. If I hit the escape key, I'm going to unlock the cursor. The way you do that is you say screen.lockCursor. I thought. Screen.cursor. Oh, wait a minute. Did they change this in Unity 5? I don't think so. One second, guys. Gotta look it up. So if you go to Google, let's type in lock cursor. I thought it was screen.lockCursor. It is. I'm not sure why it's not showing up. Oh, wait a minute. Obsolete. Property lock cursor has been deprecated. Use cursor.lockState or cursor.visible. In Unity 5, they changed it. You have to do screen.lockState. Interesting. So we're going to say here, screen.lockState, which it's not even letting me do. Hold on here, guys. Let me see. Screen.lockCursor, lock state. So what? How do I lock the screen? Lock screen, cursor, Unity 5. All right, let's see here. Cursor.lockState equals, okay. Oh, it's cursor.lockState. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Here you go. So it's going to be cursor.lockState. And it's, you'll notice here, guys, check this out. It's cursor.lockState, and it says get and set. It's a property of type cursor lock mode. So that means we can say here, lockstate equals cursor lock mode dot confined, locked, or none. I'm going to say locked. So when I hit the escape key, I'm actually going to say none. But when I start the game, I'm going to go ahead and say locked. So I'm going to put this in void start. I'm going to change it from none to locked. All right, let's go and test it out. So when I run the game, you'll notice my cursor is actually still there. Oh, okay. The cursor is still there, but it's not, it's locked, you'll notice. So it's locked and I can only move around and I'm looking with my, my gun and stuff like that. All right, so that's actually fine. 1 second here, I noticed that when I look up, my gun doesn't look up. I think my gun needs to be part of the look Y object, possibly. Let me see. Okay, it does. Ah, there we go. Okay. Make sure your gun, guys, is a child of look Y. Okay, so Roland wants to see the GUI manager for a second. Here it is. All right, we have a singleton in here where you have a variable for a crosshair, and then here defines how to position the crosshair on the center of the screen. All right, and just a heads up, guys, I'm going to do another Steam code giveaway in, we'll say in 5 minutes I'll do one. So it's 10:37 p.m. At 10:42, I will do a Steam giveaway. And the way I'm going to do this one, it's going to be on Twitter. I'm just going to post the link. Actually, I might not do Twitter. It doesn't seem fair because the entire world will get that one. I will go ahead and I may have to do another Facebook one. And actually, that's probably what I'm going to do. And actually, what I'm going to do here is we're actually going to do this one with a random generator. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to go ahead and create a Facebook thread. Actually, here, we'll do the code. We'll do the Steam giveaway right now. I also have some Ubisoft giveaways. So if you guys use Uplay, I have some of those, lots of those. What we're going to do here for this Steam giveaway is I'm going to create a status right now. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and create a status on DGI. All you have to do is comment. And when you comment, I'm going to create a live generator, and we are going to randomize that digit, and that user will get a message from me for the code. All right, so this is a Facebook only. If you don't have Facebook, I will give you till 10:42 to go ahead and get it. I'm going to allow it till 10:42 for everyone who wants this code to comment. On a Steam code, just leave a comment below. Hi guys, there is a post on Digital Gaming Institute, and all you have to do on the Facebook page is just comment. Could be anything, just comment, and your name will be whatever order you commented in. You will be put into a random number generator, which I will program right here, so you guys can actually see the live results. And whoever gets, whoever's number appears, will get the code. All right, so for the next 5 minutes, you guys can go ahead and all you have to do is comment. That's it. While you guys do that, I'm just going to go ahead and make sure my gun is okay here. I'm just going to walk around. All right, you can see I can look up and down. It looks like my gun's pointing at my crosshair, which is exactly what I want. I don't like that my mouse is frozen and visible like that. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and hide it as well. And I think the way we can do that is I can say here, what's confined do? Not really sure what that does. Let's see. Okay, that does absolutely nothing. So, I'm sorry. So not only am I going to set it to be locked, I'm also going to set it to not be visible. So I'm going to say locked here, and then I'm going to say here, screen.show cursor. God damn it! I got to say cursor dot visible. Here you go. Thank you. All right, it's a bool property. So cursor dot visible equals false. And then here, don't forget to make it visible again. You're going to say cursor dot visible equals true. All right, and that's going to allow us to lock and unlock our cursor. Here's an exercise for you if you want. I'm not going to do it, but you can. When you hit the escape key, if you hit it right after the game starts, it's going to unlock it. We'll make it to where when you hit the escape key again, it locks the screen. If you can do that code and post it in the Q&A, I will give you a Ubisoft. Could you read this? Click link. I'll do the same for you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is if someone can post how to do this in the Q&A, I will give that person an Ubisoft code right now. All you have to do is make it to where when you hit the escape key again, that it will relock your cursor. All right, you can use whatever method you can think of. That's all you got to do. We're going to continue this in 2 minutes, and I'm going to check the comments, and we'll see how many there are, and everyone's going to be entered into a number generator, and we will go from there. So I'm actually going to go ahead and create that script right now for that. So here we're going to create a new C# script. It's going to be irrelevant to this game. We're just going to call it winner. Alrighty, and if it's, let's see here. So here we're just going to have a list of numbers. All right, so I'm going to create a list here using system dot. Actually, we're going to have a list of name. We're going to do it by name. So using system.collections.generic. Hopefully none of you guys have the same name, otherwise it's going to suck. System.collections.generic. We're going to create a list of numbers, or names, I'm sorry. We're going to say public list, string, because they're names, was a new list. All right, type string. And I'm going to enter them in the inspector here. So it's 10:41. You guys have less than 60 seconds to go ahead and just comment. That's all you have to do if you want those Steam codes. Comments. I swear to God, this is the best Unity stream ever joined. Will there be more? As Harvith Rollin, yes, there will be many more. Comment stream has been epic so far. Just stumbled onto the stream on YouTube. Where is the actual stream being hosted? If someone can give me the link. Where's the link to this actual Hangout? Here we go. You can go here. I will post that on the Facebook in a reply. There's the plus Google. So I'm going to start entering these in, and then we're going to go ahead and generate it. So as long as I'm still entering the names, you can go ahead and comment. I'm going to place this winner here onto the directional light. All right, and what we got here is we have, let's see here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, so we got 6 people on here. 10 viewers, which means either you guys don't have Facebook or not a lot of people care, whichever, it's fine. So here we go. We have, let's see, we have Matthew, we have Jay and Nat. It looks like we have Horvath, we have Andrew, we have Hemi, and then we have Dan Man. Alrighty. All right, so 6 exactly. And what I'm going to do here is we are going to iterate through these randomly. All right, so when I hit the space key, that's what's going to happen. So when I hit the space key here, all right, so when I hit the space key, we're going to go ahead and just, we're going to randomize, we're going to pick a number and find out that list. So basically the way this is going to work is we're going to say here, I'm going to say, it's a string, so we're going to say here string winner. I'm sorry, actually I can't do that. I'm going to say int winner equals random.range, and it's a range between 0 and max, which is going to be names.count. So it's how many elements are in the array. Now, max is never called. However, a list is, if for instance, a list automatically puts 1 there because numbers start at 0. So when we have a list, I don't have to say like names.count -1. So here we're going to have here int winner, and then what I'm going to do here is we're going to say, we are just going to go ahead and say here debug.log. The winner is, and what we can do is we can say, we're going to say names and then the winner number. All right, so whoever wins when I hit space is going to get it. And last check to make sure there's any more comments. Alrighty, let's go ahead and run this. So if I run the game and I hit space, we should jump as well as declare a winner. And here, let me get out of full screen mode here. All right, so here's our console. All right, and when I hit space in 3, 2, 1. All right, so the winner is Horvath. All right, so Horvath gets this one. I'm going to go ahead and private message you right now, Horvath. The next one's going to be we'll do the next Steam giveaway, guys, in like 20 minutes. So give me 1 second here. Horvath, I actually am not friends with you, so I can't send you a message. If you can actually message me on Digital Gaming Institute, I will directly send you that link immediately. I can respond to messages. I can't send them out to people. So just message me on the Facebook page. Make sure Horvath Rolland is contacting me, and we will do that. And it looks like bool locked equals not locked. Okay, so, and looks like Holland has an answer for that. So like I said, guys, whoever posted that first, let me see here. Okay, that actually looks like Tom posted it first. Here's the similar code I use. Could you show the green menu for a second? If input to get key down, key code skip temp equals not temp cursor. Cursor.lock state equals cursor.lock when false. Cursor so temp false. Cursor.lock when. All right, very good. Very good, 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 good. All right, so we're also going to give one to Tom McClintock. Tom McClintock, if you can also message me on Digital Gaming Institute's Facebook page, I will give you your code right now. All right, we're going to go ahead and continue the live stream. I'll do another Steam giveaway in like 15, 20 minutes. If I go past that, just remind me, guys. All right, I'm sending out the Steam codes right now. 1 second. Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and restart here. Alrighty, so those gifts rewards have gone out. Tom McClintock, I'll give you at least 30 minutes to send me a message on Facebook, and you will get, I will give you your code. Otherwise, I may reuse your code, but I will try to use it last. All right, so let's go ahead. As Rolando, I can check your paste bin real quickly. Let me see here. Let's see. And wait, hey John, the message you guys is telling me that I shouldn't call okay, hold on. Let me go through these Q&A things here. Oh, they're building up. Okay, formatted snip and snippet code I use. All right, good stuff, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and continue this. Now we're gonna get to the fun stuff of actual portals. All right, we have a gun that works. We can unlock and we can lock our screen. What I'm gonna do now is we need to create something for us to cast portals on. So I'm gonna go ahead and extend our level a bit. The way I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna go ahead and create a game object. Just gonna create a cube. And I'm gonna just name this platform, okay? And I'm gonna position this cube. I'm gonna position it over here. Whoops. All right, and what we're gonna do is just gonna put it on the ground. If you actually go into pivot mode, you can actually position it better on the ground. You'll know exactly when it's on the ground, although the pivot actually didn't change for some reason, but that's okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the ground here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to stretch it out by 10 on the X. Actually, we'll do like 30 on the X and about 5 on the Y, and then 5 on the, we'll say 10 on the Z. All right. So this here is a platform that I need to step on. And right now it's actually very bright in our scene. I'm actually going to turn this directional light off, see what happens. Or maybe lower it, the intensity. Okay, that's perfect right here. So I want to get on. Now what I need to actually create some walls so I can distinct my level some more. You'll see here we have our ground, we have our platform. Let's go ahead and create another cube and just create a wall. All right, so name it wall. And we're going to position it over here, make it tall. All right, you can do this as many ways as you want. Basically, we're just creating a simple puzzle. I want to get on top of this platform. It's not high enough for me to jump, so I'm going to create a portal on a wall and a portal on another wall. I'm going to walk through it to get on top of this platform. It's like a puzzle element. All right, so what I'm going to do here, I got this, and I'm just going to stretch this out big time on the Z, make it a nice big wall. All right, so we got that there. All right, I'm just going to duplicate that wall, and I'm going to take it to the other side. So I'm going to put it over here, and then I'm going to duplicate it again. Try and keep it inside there and down, I guess. All right, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a third wall here. And I'm just going to put it we need to rotate this. I'm just going to say here 90 degrees. And now we have a wall to encapsulate us in. Okay. And we don't want to be able to fall from the other side, so let me make sure that's actually okay. All right, everything looks pretty good. So we can make a way to get on top of this, this platform here. All right, good stuff. So what we can now do is we have a wall here, and then let's see if I can actually jump up here. All right, so I can't jump up here. All right, and you'll also notice, check this out, guys. Your gun is going to go directly through the wall. I'm going to show you a trick once we get the portals working, how to stop this clipping. It's a camera trick that's very, very useful, so stay tuned for that. What we're going to do now is let's go ahead and talk about portals. So in the game Portal, you can place these objects on walls that are spherical, and you can actually see through those spherical objects. And then you can walk up to them and travel through them. Now in Portal, believe it or not, all it is literally taking your position at one portal and setting your position to a new portal. It's a teleportation trick, and the way they get it so smooth is that they keep the same velocity as the player when he enters it, which is why it looks like such a smooth transition. Now, for us, because we're using a character controller, we're not necessarily using real velocity, so it's going to be more difficult for us to take the velocity that we went into the portal and distribute it back. If I was using a rigid body controller, I could probably do that very easily because we can just get the velocity of our rigid body. Now, for this, we're going to do it more simplified. We're just going to allow us to go through the portals, and we're going to position ourselves a little bit in front of them. It's still going to be seamless, but you'll notice that if you try to put yourself in a position where, you know, if you jump off a ledge and there's a portal there and you want to create an infinite loop, like you put a portal on the floor and a portal on the ceiling, you're not going to continuously get faster. And the reason being is because we're not doing anything with the velocity that you went through. All right, so really that's the only effect we're going to be missing. Other than that, we're going to create some awesome kick-ass portals. So in order to do a portal thing, we need to first create a portal. Our portal is just going to be an object. It's going to be a 3D sphere. So check this out. I'm going to put the sphere here in the camera view so we can see it in the game view. All right, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to zoom in on the sphere, and I'm going to stretch it out. So I'm going to set the X to about, I'm going to keep the X at 1, and I'm going to set the Y to like 1.5. 2. Just kidding. Hold on. Okay, so 2 and 1. Okay, so I'm going to set it to about 1.5 and 2. That's going to be my portal. Okay, and maybe even a little bigger than that. What about 2 and 4? 2 and 3.5. 3. All right, we're going to do 2 and 3. And what I'm going to do now is on the Z, I'm going to actually set it to 0.1 or 0.01. Can't do 0.01. Oh, yeah, I can. Okay, cool. So 0.01. Now, the reason why I'm doing 0.01 is because it's going to give me, I want this to be placed on a wall, and I don't want it to look like it's sticking out of the wall. I want it to be literally surfaced on the wall based on how I shoot at it. So this is portal here. It's going to be one-sided. All right, this is going to be where you can see through it, and then this part here is going to stick on a wall. So obviously our collider here is massive, right? So let's go ahead and change that. Remove the sphere collider and create a box collider. So add component, box collider. It's automatically going to create one that size. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to check for when you walk through it. So we need to make it a trigger. Now that it's a trigger, let's also make it so we can actually walk through it, because right now it's going to be so much on the wall, it might not even detect us. What we need to do is we need to edit the collider, and you need to just bring it out some. You don't actually have to do it this way. You can actually just change it here. You see where it says the center or the size? Change the Z size to about 2, 4, 5, just kidding, 10, 20. Get it to about 30 maybe. I think that's okay. Okay. Okay, I'd say 30 should be good. So as long as it's pretty much like this, as long as there's a point where you think your player can interact with it, then you're good, because we're going to be using triggers on trigger enter to check when you enter the portal. Now, Roland just said, oh, okay, the first comment was Andrew's comment. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Andrew, sorry. If you messaged me, I saw that. Yes, okay. I see that, Andrew. Andrew, if you message me on Facebook, I will give you your Steam code. Sorry about that. All right, so what we're gonna do here, let me just check something real quick. Okay, Andrew Peterson, yeah, I think that comment you was. Okay, yeah. So here we go. So Andrew messaged me on Facebook, and I'm sorry about that. Give me just a moment. Let me explain this, and then I will give you your Steam code. Okay, I'm acknowledging you now, so you got that. Thank you, Roland, for pointing that out. Sorry, Andrew. All right, guys. So here we go. So we got our portal here. Now, in order for a triggered event to actually work, we need a rigid body component. All right, so we're going to add rigid body here, and that's going to allow us to actually call the onTrigger event function. You'll notice in the scripting reference, if you checked it out recently, it says these events aren't called. If you ever encounter your onTrigger event not working, it's probably because you don't have a rigid body. Now, I don't want this portal to fall to the floor, so use gravity off. I don't want to use the physics system, so is kinematic true? Okay, let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and just select some of these Q&A here. All right, and what I'm going to do now is we are going to, let me see here. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to actually stick this portal on a wall. The way we're going to do that is through raycasting. We're going to cast a ray directly through the center of our screen, and based on what we hit, we want to check if we hit a wall. We only want to put them on objects that we can actually shoot. Maybe you want it on the floor, maybe you don't, I don't know. But I'm going to make it to where when we shoot the wall, it's going to stick to the wall, okay? Now, the way we're going to do that is we have to understand what a normal is. A surface normal is perpendicular to what you hit. So, for instance, if I shoot the wall, or if I put a pencil, if I have a pen in my hand or a pencil in my hand and I put it sticking up right on the desk, the surface normal of the desk is perpendicular to the pencil. It's a 90-degree pointing upwards. You could think of a surface normal as, for instance, where you hit something, it's going to point out of a wall. So if I shoot the wall, instead of being, you know, I guess, I'm trying to think how to say this, instead of being 180 degrees flat, it's going to stick up 90 degrees like it is now. Okay, so the surface of an object is basically just the normal of an object is just 90 degrees perpendicular to what you hit. When you do blood splats, based on where you hit them, the blood splat comes out at the surface normal position, so it looks more realistic. All right. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We need to create something to cast these portals using raycasting, okay? And the functionality for creating these are going to be left click and right click. So the left click is going to shoot the left portal, and the right click is going to shoot your second portal. So let's go ahead and actually rename this one to Portal A, and then duplicate it, and you're going to rename it to Portal B. We have two portals, Portal A and Portal B. I'm going to put them over here, okay? And what we want to do is we need to cast a ray onto a wall. We need to get the surface normal of the wall or the object that you hit. And what you need to do is you need to instantiate the portals. Okay, you need to instantiate the portals, or I'm sorry, not instantiate necessarily. You need to move the portals to that position with the normal as the rotation. All right. So let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to create a new C# script, and we're going to name it Create Portal. Create Portal. Okay. Let that open. Okay, so it is 11 o'clock. What time did I do the last one? I did the last one at 11:42. So I will go ahead and do a Steam code giveaway at 11:05. Let me go ahead and figure out how I want to do this one. Let me go ahead and give Andrew Pearson his Steam code first. Give me 1 second here. And 1 second, Andrew, I got you covered. All right, Andrew, I just sent you a message. Congratulations on yours. And as far for the next one, guys, I'm going to go ahead and create, we're going to go ahead and create a new status here. Let's see. Give me 1 second. All right, and for this one, guys, here's what we need to do. going to go to the Facebook page on Digital Gaming Institute. All right, and this one, guys, this one's going to be an Ubisoft play code. And all you got to do is just, like I said, like last time, just going to comment below. You're going to join the live stream at this link. Save free. And Steam codes. Into the drawing. All right, guys. There is a new Facebook status. All you need to do. Oh, hold on. Facebook's giving me a security check. Please select all the photos which show fireworks. Interesting. Fireworks, 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 fireworks. Okay, there we go. All right, guys. There is a new status on the Facebook page. All you have to do is just go ahead over there, comment, and you will be entered into the next drawing. And this one's going to be a Ubisoft play. And I'll give you guys 3 minutes to do that. And what we're going to do is create the portal at 11:05. And if you guys have any questions or anything like that, this is your chance to ask them while everyone is entering to win. Let's see here, notifications. Let's see. Gonna get a bowl of cereal. Hi, Rollins getting cereal. I'll be right back. Let me see here. All right, guys, so we're about to get into the fun part of this series or this tutorial. We're going to go ahead and create the portal functionality to get the portals on the wall using raycasting. All right, I'm just going to briefly describe that process again. What we need to do is we need to know where the player clicked, where he shot. So we need to cast a raycast from the center of our screen directly through our crosshair. And if you hit something, and hopefully it's a wall, if you hit something or whatever you hit, we need to grab the surface normal of the object you hit, because that's going to be the rotation of portal A or B, whichever one you clicked at that time. All right. And they're going to be your left and your right mouse clicks. So when you hit the left click, we're going to shoot portal A. When you hit the right click, you're going to shoot portal B. And we're going to do this all through a shoot portal function. And instead of actually instantiating and destroying these portals, because that's bad for memory, we're actually just going to reposition the portal. That's all we need to do. And we're going to be using quaternions in this. There's a function called look rotation, which allows you to calculate angles. We need to look at that rotation. We need to get that. We need to use that in order to look at the surface normal for the rotation of our portal. And you'll see how that comes into play when we get to that. So, all right, guys, it's 11:05. Gonna go ahead and check out the Facebook here. So he's got some comments. Let's see here. Someone's gonna say actual. All right, hold on. Looks like somehow people commented on the other one as well. Let me see here. Give me 1 second. Where is that actual new? Here we go. All right, cool. So Andrew, Harvith. All right, so we only got 3 on this one, Andrew, Harvith, and Dan. And since you guys, Andrew and Harvith, have won, I'm going to go ahead and give this one to Dan. I have tons more Steam cards. I'm hoping we can get some more people in here. Otherwise, everyone's going to be getting a shit ton of games tonight. So Dan, if you can just send me a message on Facebook, I will go ahead and give you yours. All right. Let's go ahead and do the portal. Dan, just send me a message. I'll be giving it to you, an invite link. All right, so what is this create portal function going to do, or this create portal class going to do? What do we need it to do? For starters, we need it to, when I hit the left and right mouse clicks, all right, I need it to create my portals where I clicked or where my raycast hit, right? So obviously, we're going to be using update. So what I need to do here, is we need to first cast our ray. Let's go and get our user input actually. So if we left click and right click, right? So if, we'll say if input.getMouseButton, we'll say get mouse button down. Right, so if you get mouse button down 0, which is left click, then we want to say shoot portal A, okay? And then else if input.getMouseButton down 1, which is the right key, okay? It's the right mouse button. We're going to say shoot portal B. So now what we need to do is we need to come up with logic for this, okay? So if you hit the left click, shoot portal A. If you hit the right click, shoot portal B. So what we need to do now is we need a function that we can determine which one of these you shot. So for instance, say we had a shoot function. So, and actually before we continue, what is portal A and portal B? The script has no idea what those are. So we need variables that are going to hold our portals. So here I'm going to say public game object portal A, public game object portal B. And if we go ahead and click on our player here, we can add this create portal script. Just drag it onto your player. And you'll see here we have portal A, portal B objects. So in the scene view, just drag portal A to portal A and portal B to portal B. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the raycasting. So if you input.getMouseButton 0, you're going to shoot portal A, else shoot portal B. So let's do shoot A first. So we need to cast a ray. So we're going to say ray. And actually, this is about to get redundant. I'm about to cast 2 different rays and rewrite the code twice. Instead, what if I had a function that could just do that for us? Like for instance, say I create a void shoot portal function. And then what I'll do here is shoot portal A, shoot portal B. I can say here, shoot portal. And then I'd say here, shoot portal. Now, how does it know which portal I'm shooting? What if I pass through a parameter? What if I accepted a game object to be passed through? So I could say game object portal. Okay? And what I can do here is I can say here, portal, I'd say portal A. And then here I could say shoot portal, portal B. You'll notice when you retype that shoot portal function, you can pass through a game object. So what portal are you shooting? We're going to shoot portal B when you right click and portal A when you left click. So now we can do all the raycasting stuff in here. So let's set up the raycasting. In order to do raycasting, you need a ray, and then you have a ray variable, or ray origin, whichever one you want. And that's going to equal, it needs to come through the screen, okay? Code giveaway for Ulay. Yeah, you play. Yeah, Eleanor. If you want a chance to win, you just have to go on the Facebook page. You have to comment on the Facebook page, and that's how you can enter, subscribe, and all that good stuff. I have tons of more Steam and Ulayer ones, or Uplay ones, whatever they're called. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to create a ray. We need to cast this ray from the main camera through the center of our screen. Now, if you remember in the raycasting video I did a while ago, we do that through accessing it by camera.main, and then we had screen point to ray. Now, we don't want to use screen point to ray. We actually want to use, we don't want my screen, we want my viewport. All right, your screen is bigger than your actual viewport in most cases. The viewport is what the camera can physically see. Okay, it's your view. What I need to do is I want to get the center of my viewport, which is also lined up with the center of my, which is also lined up with the center of my crosshair. Okay, so I'm going to say here, ray equals, whoops, sorry, I lost my cursor. We're going to say ray equals camera dot main, the main camera, and then we're going to say here dot viewport point to ray. And you'll see here that it says parentheses vector3 position. Where do we want to cast this ray from? I'm going to say here a new vector3 because it's a vector3. Anytime you see that, you need a new vector3. And you're going to see I can pass through an x, y, and z. For the x, I want it to be in the middle of the screen on the x-axis. So I'm going to say 0.5. It's 0 to 1 here. So I say 0.5f on the x. The middle of the screen on the y is 0.5f. And then for z, it's just a depth. I don't really care. So I'm just going to say 0. It's going to go forward anyways. It's whatever the camera is facing. Okay? So now that we have our viewport point to ray, what we need to do now is we need a variable that's going to store what we hit. And that's going to be called raycast hit. This is going to store any information that our raycast collides with. So I'm going to go ahead and name this hit info. And I can just leave it blank at default. So the way, now that we have the ray where our camera, our ray origin, so I'll go ahead and name that ray origin. That's really what it is. It's the origin of our ray. It's going to start from the viewpoint of the ray and go forward. So it should directly go through the center of the crosshair that we set up. If you're just tuning in now, it looks like we just got a shit ton of viewers. I'm giving away Steam codes and Uplay giveaways. Just help share this channel. Join the Facebook page at facebook.com/Digital Gaming Institute for information on how to win the next codes. I post the statuses there. And what we're covering here is raycasting right now and portal creation. So we have our ray origin, which is where the ray starts, and then we have our hit info, all right? So hit info is going to store what we hit. Let's go ahead and actually cast the ray. The way we do that is in an if statement, because it's an if statement because it returns true if you hit something. So if physics.raycast, all right, and here it's asking for ray, which is your ray origin. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to say out hit info. If you want, you can add a distance. I'm not gonna. Here we're going to say out hit info. This out keyword stands for output. It's going to output. So we're in an if statement, and if we hit something, it's going to return true. And it's saying if we hit something, output whatever we hit inside of hit info. All right. So if we hit something, output the information that we hit inside of the variable hit info. All right. Pretty simple. So if we hit something, what we're going to do here is we need to find the surface normal of the game object we hit. And remember, the surface normal is just the perpendicular angle 90 degrees to what the object you hit. So what we're going to say here is we're going to say we need a quaternion variable. And I'm going to say here, quaternion find normal. And we're going to use a function called quaternion.lookRotation. And what it's going to allow me to do is it's going to allow me to grab the angle that I need to rotate to get to that normal. So I'm going to say here, find normal equals quaternion.lookRotation. And you'll see that it's a vector3 forward. So the forward direction that our portal needs to face is going to be the normal of the object we hit. So I'm going to say here, hit info.normal. Okay. So what's going to happen here is we have a variable that's a quaternion. It's a rotation variable, and we're finding the normal. The normal that we need to find is the normal of the object we hit. So now that the normal is stored in a variable, we can make use of it by saying now we can grab the portal. The way we make use of this is we need to grab the portal. Okay, we're going to grab the portal that, sorry, lagged here. Grab the portal that we pass through the function. All right, and what you're going to do now is you're going to grab the rotation of that portal. So transform, portal.transform.rotation, and you'll see here it says quaternion, public quaternion get set. So rotation equals find normal. That's going to set the rotation of the portal to be the rotation of the surface normal of the wall. So that way it looks like you can walk through the portal. All right, and actually before doing that, let's also set the position of where you hit. So I'm going to say portal.transform.position equals hit info.point, which gives us the exact point of where your raycast or where your gun hit on the wall. So the process again, guys, is we're going to cast a ray. If we hit something, we're going to find the surface normal. We're going to take the position of the portal, portal A or B. We're going to assign it to where you hit on the wall. And then you're going to take the portal's rotation and assign it to find normal. So let's go ahead and actually test this out now and see if it works. And wow, this stream is going much longer than I expected. I apologize, guys. I thought I would be blowing through this, but because I'm doing it more of a slow-paced speed for everyone, it's going a little longer. So here we go. We have two portals. If I left-click, you'll see that the portal goes over there. And if I right-click, it goes over there. Now, what I'm going to do here, so we can actually distinguish these, is add materials for them because you can't really see them. So I'm going to duplicate the gun one. We're going to name this portal A and a portal B. And we're going to put render textures on them so we can see through them in a minute here. So we have portal A, which goes, oh, sorry, hold on. Okay, so portal A can go here on portal A. And then portal B can get portal B. All right, so let's go and test this out. If I left click, I'm going to place a portal there. You'll notice I can click anywhere. It's always going to be 90 degrees to what I click. This is called the surface normal. So if I shoot this wall, it's always going to be 90 degrees perpendicular to the surface. It will never get stuck on like a weird angle. That's the beauty of doing it this way through a surface normal. So you always have that. And if I right click, I can shoot the right click one. So now that we have the portals actually working, let's make it so I can walk into this one. I can walk into this portal, and then I can walk, and I'll exit through that portal, which is up there on top of the platform. And I just got a question from Spoken. When will your advanced series be finished? The advanced series will be finished hopefully soon. The next video is probably going to be delegates and events. Delegates and events are super awesome. I'm going to cover those, and then we got a lot more to cover. Lambda expressions, list.for each, tons of advanced concepts. Make sure you guys are liking and sharing those videos. It encourages me to create more videos. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Okay, so everyone's caught up with portals. Everyone's good. Everyone has this working. What we're about to do now is make it so you can actually walk through them, and then we're going to create the effect of you being able to look through one portal to another portal. So the logic for going through one portal to another is super simple, guys. Literally all we have to do is just use on trigger enter. They have triggers, and just grab the position of other and just set it to the other teleport's position. All right, and it's 11:18. I will go ahead and do another Steam giveaway and Uplay giveaway at 11:30. All right, so in 12 minutes we'll do that. If you guys can go ahead and share this channel, get more people in here, that'd be really cool and exciting. We're gonna go ahead and do a random generator here where I put everyone's names into a list and randomly draw. All right, so what we have here is we have two functioning portals. Let's go ahead and do the process now of actually creating the effect of going through the portals. And what we need to do here is we need to create a new C# script, and you're gonna name it, let's go and say teleport. All right, so we're gonna say teleport. Maybe it's a portal script, but we're gonna name it just teleport. Now what you need to do is go ahead and click, select both portal A and portal B and add this script. You're gonna say teleport. All right. And this script, basically, this class is going to have the functionality for teleporting from one portal to another, and we need to make it look seamless so that there's no weird stuff happening. So give me 1 second here, guys. Sorry, hold on. Hold on, just like lagged here. Okay. All right, guys, here we go. So go ahead and open this up in MonoDevelop. I'm not sure where it's not actually opening. Guys, if you have issues with MonoDevelop, by the way, you can actually just right-click one of your scripts, any script, doesn't matter, and just sync MonoDevelop, and it will reopen everything. So there we go. Okay. So we have this new function of ours called, we have this new class called teleport, and it's going to handle everything for teleporting the player from one portal to another using triggers. All right, and what we need to do is, first off, these scripts are independent. All right, so portal A has a script and portal B has a script. Now what we need to do is we need to create it. Oops. We need to create it so that these portals know about each other. For instance, when I entered the UI on Facebook, when is the draw? Eleanor asked the question, when is the Uplay on Facebook? When is the draw? The draw will be at 11:30. I will create a status, and all you have to do is comment. The next one, I might actually force people to share that status. Maybe, I don't know. You just have to comment on the new status, and you'll be entered in to the names. All right. It also would help if everyone would just go on like the Unity forums, share this channel, go on Reddit, share it, Twitter, share it, whatever, you know. Okay. So here we go. Here we have our teleportation script. And in order to start, what do we need to do? We need to make it so when you walk through one portal, so this is the teleport. So this is the portal game object we're on, right? This teleport script is on the portal. And what we're going to be using here is void on trigger enter. All right, this is going to be automatically called when we enter the trigger. And the other, oops, here we go. We need collider other. The other is going to be the player, okay? Now, when you collide with other, what do you want to do to him? Say you run into portal A, what needs to happen? You need to appear at portal B, okay? So what we need to do is we need to grab other's position and assign him to portal B's position if this one's portal A. I don't know which portal this is. So we need to distinctly clarify that. And the way we can do that is we can create a variable like this. We can say public game object and then say other teleporter, or say other portal maybe. We'll say other portal, okay? And what we're going to do here is we're going to look at portal A, and we're going to have a variable here. What's the other portal? Portal A says the other portal is portal B. All right, click on portal B. Other portal is what? Portal A. That way they cross-communicate with each other, okay? So now open back up that script. Now what happens when they walk through it? Okay, when they walk through, you need to first check if it's the player. So if the other dot tag equals player, then teleport player to other portal. Simple as that, okay? Before we do anything else, let's go ahead and add a tag to our player. So go to player, click on player, add tag player. It's already pre-built in for you. Okay. Let's go ahead now and make this work. So what's the logic here? When so if this if statement gets called, it means the player collided with it, right? So it means the player collided with the portal. What we need to do is we need to take the player's position, so other.transform.position, and we need to assign it to a new position. That new position is going to be other portal. Is going to be other portal.transform.position. The position of the player is going to be the other portal's position. Now, let's go ahead and just test this as is, and we might experience a bug here, I'm thinking. Watch what happens actually if I do this. So I'm going to place that portal there. I should be able to walk into here. You're going to see what's happening. I'm caught in this infinite loop now. I'm portaling back and forth between them. The reason being is because I'm using on trigger enter. As soon as I enter one portal, I appear at the other, and guess what gets called? On trigger enter gets called, and it puts me back. At the other portal. So I'm swapping between portals. So what we need to do is we need to allow the player to have some leeway between the portal exit. So we're going to actually push the player about 2 meters in front of the portal. So the way we're going to do that is we need to say here, you want it to be the other portal's position plus the other teleport's position. So we're going to say here, other portal transform position plus the other teleporter, so other portal. So we're going to grab the other portal's position, and we're going to add a vector to it, and we're going to say transform.forward. So this is going to grab the other portal's forward position, and we're going to add say 2 meters to it. The way we do that right now, this is just 1 meter. We're going to say multiply it by 2. So we're going to add 2 meters in front of the other portal. I wonder if for a second your console says I won something, or is that just because you still have the winner script running? Sorry. Yeah, I still have the winner script running. I haven't cleared it. Ignore those. Sorry, guys. It hasn't been updated yet. Let me disable the winner script. Sorry about that. Okay, so now when we go ahead and run this, I'm going to explain that code again, guys. But if we run this, I can create a portal there. I can create a portal here. And check this out. I'm going to go through this one. And here we go. I'm up here. It spat me out about 2 feet in front of it, and now I'm on here. So I can go back through. And there you go, now I'm out. All right. So that's how that works. Now, there's also another thing actually you need to see. Check this out. What do you notice when I walk through this this portal here? And before I actually explain how to fix it, watch what happens. Okay, so you're noticing I face this way, right? So say I put that portal over there. The portal is there. Watch what happens when I walk through this portal. I'm facing this way. I'm going to go out the portal. I'm still facing this way. I should be facing this way outwards. We need to actually manipulate the player's rotation and set it to the rotation of the portal as well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back in here. And right now all we're doing is we're grabbing the player's position and we're setting it to the position of the portal and we're adding it 2 feet of room in front of the portal. That's all this does. We're just saying grab the forward direction of the other portal and multiply it by 2 and add it to the current add it to the player's position. All right, so the player position equals the portal plus 2 feet in front of it. Now what we also want to do is we want to assign the rotation. I'm going to do the rotation before the position. And I'm actually wondering if there's something actually wrong here. I'm not sure we actually need to do the rotation. Let me see. Other position equals other portal transform position plus other portal transform dot forward. Let me see. Equals other portal transform dot forward. Okay, I think we do. I'm pretty sure we do. So let's go ahead and add that. So we're going to say here other dot transform dot rotation equals, we're going to say other portal dot transform dot rotation. All right, and that should give us the rotation we need for the portal, I hope. So let's go ahead and place a portal here, place a portal there. All right, and if I walk through this, there you go. That's fixed. All right, so I go back through this way. I'm going to be facing, directly behind me should be the portal. And there you go. So that's how you create portal effects. Really, really awesome in my opinion. It works great. And what we're going to do now after the giveaway here is we are going to make it so I can actually physically see through this portal. And once I do that, we're going to do a little bit of extra stuff and we're going to make a crystal explode. My buddy Antonio created an awesome crystal model. It's 20 pieces. It's 1 piece as it looks, and then once you shoot it, it's going to blow up into 20 pieces. I'm going to show you guys how to create that effect. So make sure you guys are staying tuned. I found a cool texture for the walls. Oh, cool. There you go. Roland found a cool texture for the walls. If you guys want to use that, feel free to download it. It's in the Q&A here. I just went over for a second. Yeah, okay. All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and do the next giveaway here. We got 11 people here. What I want to do is something actually a little different. Let me check Twitter here. I hope everyone has a Twitter because what you're going to need to do is I'm going to go ahead and tweet something, and you are going to need, and this is only going to be for the viewers watching, but you will need to retweet in order to enter into this one, all right? So the way this is going to work, if you go to twitter.com or Twitter on your phone, whatever, I'm going to go ahead and tweet. If you're not following me, you better follow me at DGI Students. Okay, I'm at DGI Students. All right, that's where I am at. Let me see here. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and tweet something, and all you have to do is retweet it. If you retweet it, you'll be entered in to win, and we will go from there. All right, so give me just 1 second here. Whoops, give me 1 second. Alrighty. All right, if you're just tuning in, we're about to do a live giveaway. You're going to get some Steam codes and Uplay codes. So what I'm going to say here is, let's see here. In the game dev. Let's see here, Uplay codes. All right, guys, I have just gone ahead and tweeted at DGI students, other player transfer not rotation with other transfer not rotation. Oh, I missed the rotation line. Please share the code. Okay, Andrew Peterson put it. I will go ahead and display that code. All right, guys, so it's right here, teleport script. It's other transfer not rotation equals other portal. All right, guys, so this is just strictly for the people watching. You can win if they retweet it and they're not in this chat or whatever. They're not going to understand the instructions on how to actually receive the code. So it's 11:31, and I will allow retweets until 11:35. To 11:35, so we got 3 more minutes. In 3 minutes, I will go ahead and we'll see who's retweeted, and I'll put your names in the list. All you have to do is retweet that status, and you'll be entered to win some Steam codes and Uplay. Alrighty, and what we're gonna do here as well for the next like 3 minutes, if anyone has any questions about what we've gone through so far, if you don't understand something, or if you want to know anything related to what's going on here, or me in general, go ahead and ask away, or if you guys want to, yeah, do whatever. So go ahead, and you guys can also post on the Facebook page. Let me see here. Everyone's got their Steam codes. All right, good stuff. Elias retweeted. Let's see. I haven't checked the Twitter yet, but I'm sure it's going. Let's see. All right, guys. So you got to 11:35 to retweet. All you have to do if you're tuning in, all you have to do is retweet my latest tweet on Twitter in order to be entered into winning some Steam codes and Uplay codes. Let's see here. So we got quite a few. Got quite a lot. Man, I actually have a lot of. I have a lot of old Steam keys here that I've never claimed. Very cool. All right, guys, let's see. What time is it? It's 11:34. If you're tuning in, make sure you go and retweet which MacBook do you have, why you didn't upgrade to Yosemite. So I have a MacBook Pro. I work on a MacBook Pro 13-inch. I am not on Yosemite because I am just not. When it comes to Mac software, I usually am on whatever it came with. I don't really, when I used to be big on development builds for Mac, I used to always be updated, but I really just stopped caring. I'll probably be on Yosemite though very soon because when they update Xcode, they usually require you to have the latest version. So eventually they'll force you on it. Speaking of Xcode, I will be doing a totally iOS and Android series soon. It's going to be primarily iOS, but the same concepts will apply to Android. Every day I work in Xcode, so it would be useful for some of you guys to understand how to actually get your apps on the Play Store and stuff like that. And then I've also thought about doing plugin tutorials, like with popular plugins. I don't know if you guys know who Prime 31 is, the Facebook integration tool. I've been using that quite a bit recently, so I was thinking of doing some new stuff on that, as well as continuing the advanced series with Lambda expressions and let me see. Then there's so many advanced concepts. I will do a delegate event in this just to primarily show you guys what you can look forward to in the advanced stuff. When it comes to coding, one of my favorite things about coding is when you have code that is like just so lead, so advanced. It's almost like to the average programmer, they don't even know how to read it. To me, that's very thrilling and exciting, and I love working with advanced code like that. So that's why I'm actually doing the advanced series, because I want everyone to adapt to those because they are awesome features. All right, guys. So it's 11:36. Let's go ahead and figure out who won. I'm going to go ahead and go through here real quickly. We got some iRead tweets already. Let's see here. We're going to go ahead and put everyone in the random generator. Yes, iOS tutorials, yes. Yeah, so iOS tutorials are coming. They're in the works. I also plan to do some networking tutorials with the new Unity networking gets officially released. All right, guys, so let's check out Twitter here. What do we got? Let's see if I go to notifications. All game, okay, looks like we got 9, holy shit, we got 9 tweets. Let's see here. All right, 1 second, guys. Gotta actually do this. Okay, so we got OMF George. Let's see here. I'm not gonna include the bots in this, all right? Maybe I should include the bots. You guys let me know in the comments there if I should, but otherwise I'm not gonna include the bots. Let's go and click on our light here. All right, so here we have our winner. How many do we have here? It says we have 9. All right, so element 0. Let's see, who do we got? We got OMF George. So we got OMF George. Let's see, who else do we got? We got HR Animations. All right, who else do we have? Oh crap, hold on, guys. Oh shit, there's a lot more people that actually did that. There are 9, holy shit. Okay, so there's actually 16 people who, damn. All right, so 16 people retweeted. Oh no, okay, I'm sorry. There's actually favorites, only 9 retweeted. Okay, so only those 9 get entered. All right, so we got HR Animations, guys. We have, whoops. Let me get out of that. All right, we got Game Dev Robot. We have some, I'm sorry guys, someone in Korea or Chinese letters. I don't know who that is. I'm just gonna use characters to do that, symbolize that person. I'm sorry, I don't know what your name says. I got Preston. All right, we got Preston in there. We got Free Developer, whoever that is. Let's see, we got Hemi. We got Eleanor. Got Eleanor. Sorry if I spell your name wrong, guys. And then we got the Indie Sloth. I'm pretty sure Indie Sloth is they bought. I will also, yeah, okay, they're bought. All right, so there we go. So we got 7, and then here, these will be 3. So we got 7 here. All right, guys, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and run the game. When we hit space, a winner will be selected. Please do the networking. And when you said networking tutorials, did you mean UNet or something else like Photon? No, I mean Unity networking. Unity 5 is going to be releasing their new RackNet. They're off of RackNet 3.0, and they're going to be releasing their new upgraded networking, which apparently is really good. Shadow Games uses it. Shadowgun 2 from Madfinger Games used it. It looks awesome. So I'm looking forward to working with it and doing some tutorials on it. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and hit space in 3, 2, 1, and our winner is Free Developer. Okay, so Free Developer, congratulations. All you have to do is you just have to send me a direct message from your Twitter account on Twitter, and I will send you an invite to your Steam or Uplay code. All right, so all you got to do is just go ahead and send me a message. I'll give you about 30 minutes before the next one where I may or may not remove your game. All right, let's see here. Okay, good stuff. So what we're going to do now is let's go ahead and make it so you can actually see through these portals. All right, that's the whole point of portals, that you can see through them. So what we're going to do now is let's go ahead and click on portal A and B. And what you'll see here is that they have on them materials, okay? They have just normal materials. They're just portal materials and stuff like that. In order for this to work, we need to basically allow us to render an image through them. The way we can do that is using what's called a render texture. All right, render textures allow you to place camera feeds on specific objects. For instance, if you had a TV in a game and you wanted to make it, or if you had a security cam, the way you can give a security cam on a TV screen, like the effect of it, is using a render texture. You have a camera that's viewing something and it's displaying what it can view onto a render texture. So how do we actually make this work? So to make this work, we actually need some cameras. And what we're going to do here is you're going to click on portal A and you're going to add a camera to it. And you're going to set the position to 0, 0, 0. You're going to click on portal B. You're going to add a camera to it. So portal B, camera. And you're going to set it to 0, 0, 0 as well. So now we have 2, 3 cameras, right? So we have 3 cameras in the scene. Each portal gets its own camera. So these portals have cameras on them, and the cameras are viewing in the forward direction. Now, what that camera sees, I want to display on the other. So what we need now are render textures. All right. So in your textures folder, I'm going to create a new folder here to clean up some stuff. I'm just going to say here, crosshairs. I'm going to put all the crosshairs in there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a render texture. If you go to create, you'll see here that we have something called render texture right here. And go ahead and name it portal A. And go ahead and duplicate it and rename it portal B. Now here we have portal A and portal B. Now the size of these are going to be, this is the size of the camera viewport. Typically we want it to be nice and big and we want the quality to be pretty good. So go ahead and make these 2048 by 2048. And do that for portal B as well. 2048, 2048. You want the camera feed to be nice, big, and clear. So we have portal A and portal B. Everything else you don't have to touch. Keep it how it is. Now, what we're going to do now is you're going to click on the materials here. And I think we can just add them like that. No, we can't. Okay, that's fine. Doesn't want us doing that. Give me a second. Portal A, portal B, put them there. Click on portal B, okay? Click on portal B and then click on camera for portal B. You'll see here it says target texture. You see where it says none and it's looking for a render texture? Portal B should be looking at what portal? Portal B should be looking at portal A. So put portal A render texture on portal B's camera. Now click on portal A and go into portal A's camera. Portal A's target texture should be portal B. Okay? And I don't know if we actually have to do anything in Unity 5 with these. I thought we did in order to get the actual view. Let me see here. Let me see, skybox solid only. Render path. What if he's forward? No, not quite. Okay, so what you will see though is that it's working. If you click on these cameras, you can actually see the camera previews. Now what we need to actually do though is we need to actually put them on materials. It's not letting me put them on materials for some reason. All right, one second guys. We need to go to Google here. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna search for how to put it on there. So we're gonna say render texture. Here we go. So here's the manual for a render texture. Render textures are a special type of textures that are created and updated at runtime. To use them, you first create a new render texture and designate one of your cameras to render into it. Then you can use the render texture in a material just like a regular texture. So how do I do it in a material? Very much like to know. The render texture inspector displays the current contents of render texture in real time. Can be an invaluable debugging tool. Here we go. Create a new render texture. We did that. Create a camera. Yeah, we did that. Assign the render texture to the target texture of the new camera. We did that. Create a box. Okay, we have our portal. Drag the render texture onto it to create a material that uses render texture. Okay, so you just need to take portal A and put it on portal B. There we go. So it automatically created something here. What did it do? It changed our portal A here to be a render texture type. Okay, so and then here we're going to take portal B and just put it on portal A. And it looks like we should be able to see through these different portals now. So if I rotate this portal, let's see if we can actually see through portal B what this one's viewing. So if I go and do this, and you'll see in the left one, we're viewing exactly what portal B is looking at. Portal B is looking at the wall. We're rotating, and we're seeing everything, or we're seeing everything that we're seeing. Let's go ahead and check this out. Let's go ahead and fire one over here. Should be able to see myself. See that? So I can see myself here. And actually, you know what? It's more so a mirror right now. I think I have these backwards. It shouldn't be a mirror. 1 second. I think portal B is supposed to have portal B, and portal A is supposed to have portal A, possibly. Is that right? Let's see. Once I get it right, guys, I will inform you. Okay, so here we go. I think now I have it right. So if I go, let's go ahead and put this one over here. So when I walk here, so right now I'm looking this way, and that I'm viewing it directly there. So right here, I'm looking here. The portal B is looking directly at my gun. So here's what you need to do to get exactly what I have here. When you said networking towards, did you mean unit? Okay, sorry guys, just rereading. Okay, so here's what we need to do. Portal A is going to have material portal A render texture on it. So put the render texture for portal A on portal A. Put the render texture on portal B for portal B. On the cameras, portal B's camera is going to target texture as portal A. And for portal A's camera, the target texture is portal B. And now we have a working portal effect. So if I go up here and here, I can see what that other portal sees. So if I jump, it sees me. So I'm going to go through this, and here we go. Now I'm up here. And yeah, so I hope you guys are enjoying this. Took a while to get to this point, but I hope you guys learned some stuff. See how easy it is pretty much to do portal effects. Pretty cool. If you guys want to, if we have time, it's already almost midnight. Give me just 1 second here. Based on a vote, there's only 7 of you guys. I don't mind finishing this up. I was gonna show you guys how to create a weapon out of this. So like you can use your mouse scroll wheel, or you can hit a key to switch between your portal gun and like an actual weapon. And when you shoot a crystal, you make it explode. So it's up to you guys if we want to do that. It's 11:48 here. What I'm gonna do is I want to go ahead and do another Steam giveaway. So I'm gonna go ahead and give a Steam DLC pack away for one of the games I have here. Let me see here. 1 second. Actually, you know what? We're gonna do some more Uplay, I think, so I can get rid of some of these. Here we go. So I got some more. Actually, no, I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna give away. This one's gonna be a 2-in-1. You're gonna get. Let me make sure these are. Okay, so here's how this one's going to work. I have some DLC content to give away, and if you already won something and if you want the DLC, you can choose the DLC or a new game entirely. What we're going to do here, let me see. Sorry, guys. All right, so here we go. So we're going to do another Twitter one. And actually, no, we're probably going to do a Facebook one here. And what we're going to be doing, let me see here. What we're going to be doing here is I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do another Facebook one. I'm going to create a status on Facebook. All you guys have to do is just comment. Let me know your thoughts on this stream, if I should do more, whatever. Just say something positive, and you'll be entered. Although I seem to have taken a hit in performance, input seem a bit delayed now. Is there a way to optimize that? Inputs seem a bit delayed now. Okay, oh, you have taken a hit in performance. Okay, if you're taking a hit in performance, go ahead and set the texture size, you know, where we set it to 2048, 2048. Try like 512 by 512. And that may help a bit. All right, guys. I'm going to go on the Digital Gaming Institute Facebook page. If you're not there, go to facebook.com/Digital Gaming Institute. I'm giving away a Uplay and Steam code right now, and actually we're going to go ahead and do 3 winners this time. Actually, no, for some of you, we're going to just do 1. Sorry, guys. We're going to do 1 winner. Hopefully we can get back up to, if we can hit 15 viewers, I'll be glad to do 3. We're going to give away some Uplay codes here and some Steam stuff. We're going to just advertise the live event going on. Playing Steam giveaway. Let's see here. Ping-pong giving you join. Hi guys, I just updated the status. All you have to do is you have to just go to the Facebook page, say something positive in the comments, and you'll be entered for the You Playing Steam codes. All right, and I'll give you guys 5 minutes to do that. It'd be awesome if some of you guys wanted to share the post. You don't have to share it though, but if you wanted to, you can. Alrighty, and let's see here. All right, and for the next 5 minutes, guys, if you guys have any questions, let me know. If you hi to stream, what's up? Hey, how's it going, Brandon? We just got done creating our portal mechanics, as you can see here right now. We have 2 portals. You can see through the portals, and they display exactly what you're looking at and stuff like that. So you can go through them, and you teleport on the other one. So you can see through the portals, all that fun stuff. If you're just tuning in now, if you go on the Facebook page, you have a chance to win some You Playing Steam codes. All right, so let's see here. All you have to do, guys, just comment on that page. All right, so let's see here. It's on 53. All right, so we'll go ahead and do the drawing in like 3 more minutes. Brandon just joined. What's up? Oh, sorry, Brandon. Yeah, no, 9 p.m. Eastern time. It's almost midnight here. Oops, sorry, guys. But I don't know. So this we got 9 people in here. If you're just tuning in, you can go ahead and enter into the Steam and Uplay giveaway that I'm doing. All you have to do is go to the Facebook page and comment in the links. Just say something positive, and you'll be entered in to vote. You'll see me do the drawing live right here. If we can get to 15 viewers, I'll go ahead and give away 3 codes. Otherwise, we're doing just 1. So help share. And if you're wondering where you have to comment on the latest status. And if someone wants to go on like Reddit or something, or wherever people hang out on Friday night chats to bring them here, go for it. Go on some gaming channels or something. Because as much as I love staying around 9 people, it's awesome. Let's see here. It is 11:54. We'll do it in 2 minutes. Also, guys, if you want to do the crystal explosion, let me know in the chat here in the QA. Let me know. Do you want to do the live explosions? Yes or no? Otherwise, we can go ahead and end the series. I can wrap this up. Otherwise, we can do some crystals. I'll give you guys a 20-piece crystal, and we'll look at how to explode it. But if you guys don't want to do that, we don't have to. All right, let's see here. What's happening with the comments? Okay, so Andrew Peterson asked if I'd cover the crystal thing in a later video. I probably won't. The model was given to me from a friend. I said he created it specifically for this. Wasn't too keen on me giving it out to you guys, but I was like, yeah, I'll say your name. So if we're gonna do the crystal explosion, it's gonna be in the live stream. I won't make a tutorial necessarily on it. Maybe I will. It is super cool. Basically, you know, in order to get, it's an illusion. Basically, it's 1 piece that turns into 20. It's 20 pieces that look attached, but really it's all 20. And It requires some iterations using for loops and gravity and all that good stuff and explosions, and there's some physics behind it. But it's not terrible. It is a super cool effect. It looks great when you can shatter something, and if you had sound effects to go with it, it's even cooler. So by the way, guys, if you're tuning in, I have a tutorial series on fundamentals, intermediate, and advanced series. So if you don't know how to do anything that we've covered, definitely go watch those out. We're about to do some stuff with for loops. If you guys want to see the crystal explosion, I haven't seen anyone actually say they wanted to yet. So maybe we will be ending this stream after the giveaway, unless someone wants to do the crystal explosion. I will give you guys the assets. And let's see here. Hi guys, it's 10:57. I'm going to go and check the Facebook status and put everyone in that commented. Also, I just got a message from Mukol Negi. If you want to learn about for loops and while loops, in my fundamental series, I cover all the loops, including do while and for each loops. So go ahead and watch that video, and it'll give you a pretty good understanding of loops. Let's go ahead here, and we're gonna. Let me see here. We're gonna go to the Facebook page. Let's see who commented. And let's see. Let me see. I'm technically watching real time. Okay. Okay. So Brandon's messaging me. Brandon, you're watching this real time. All right. So guys, let's go ahead and check out that status. Let's see what we got. Let's see, comment on link to join shared. Here we go. So free Uplay Steam giveaways. So what do we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we got 5 comments on this and 10 people here. So if you didn't comment on the Facebook page, you can't get a Steam code. There's a status on the Facebook page, facebook.com/digitalgaminginstitute.com. You can still enter as long as I'm still typing in the names. So here we go. We're going to go and set this to 0. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people so far. And starting with Mukul, we have Horvath, we have Andrew, we have Rico, and we have Hemi. All right, and we're going to go ahead and run this. When I hit space, the winner is going to be declared. All right, and you'll see here in the console. All right, we're going to do it in 3, 2. Oh, it doesn't like that there's audio listeners. Well, it's going to suck it up. All right, so 3, 2, 1. All right, so the winner is Hemi. All right, so Hemi, all you have to do is just go ahead and message me on Facebook, and I will send you your download links to your Uplay. All right, and we have 11 people in here. If we can get 15, I will do another giveaway. I would do another giveaway for 3 codes in 15 minutes. So let's see here. All right, so Mukul Negi asked, what is fixed update? Fixed update is a physics update. It's a consistent frame rate update that's not reliable on your processor. So it's used for, like, for instance, your frame rate. So you have your update method, which is your frame rate. If your computer sucks, your update method is very slow, whereas if your computer is really fast, your update method might be 60 frames per second. The fixed update is a set number, so it doesn't matter how fast or slow your computer is, the fixed update is consistent, whereas update typically isn't. Let's see here. Okay, guys, if you're just tuning in, we just did a giveaway. If we get 3 more viewers, I will go ahead and do more Uplay Steam giveaways. I'll give away 3 codes this time. All you have to do if you want is just message me on Facebook. Hemi, I'm waiting for you to message me, and you'll get your code. I'll give you like 30 minutes to redeem it before I re-give it away. All right, guys, here we go. So let's go ahead and figure out what you guys want to do. Do you guys want to see the exploding crystal? Do you guys want the assets for the exploding crystal? Let me know in the QA. Or you can let me know on the Facebook comments. I'm on all social network right now. So do we want to see exploding crystal? Or if you guys have requests, tell me what you want to see. What do you guys want to learn? Do you guys want to see me use a delegate in an event? Do you guys want to see me write code that would just blow you away? What do you guys want to? What do you want to see? You guys run the show now. All right, Hemi, I got your message. I'll be sending you your code. Yeah, let's do it. All right, cool. All right, so give me 1 second, guys, here. I'm just going to give this away here. Alrighty, guys. Give me 1 second here. All right, Hemi, I just gave you a Uplay code. And what we're going to do now, guys, we got 11 people in here. We're going to go ahead and create a shattering effect. So, for instance, we're going to have a glass crystal. When you shoot that crystal, it's going to explode. It's going to be awesome. The way we're going to do this is we need to create some sort of, we need to be able to not use our portal. So we want to use the same gun, but I don't want to use a portal. So what you're going to need to do, and I'm not going to tell you how to do this. I will walk you through the crystal part, but what you need to do is you need to make it so that when you hit the Q key, you no longer shoot portals, and instead you just cast rays. All right, so your rays are going to be it's your gun. Instead of shooting portals, make it so when you hit the Q key, you never cast rays, and when you hit the Q key again, then you shoot portals again. You need a way to switch your weapon. So our portal gun is not only our portal weapon, but it's also our weapon, our gun, okay? So when you hit Q, you're swapping between the ability to shoot portals and to fire. So you guys need to figure that out, how to do that. And then I'll give you guys a couple minutes to do that while I grab the assets for the crystal. All right, I'm going to upload an FBX package, and you guys can go ahead and download it, and we're going to talk about how to make it explode. You can use a for loop, a for each loop, whichever one you'd like, and then we'll talk about the different solutions for giving it that explosion effect. If you're just tuning in now, I'm giving away more Steam codes, Uplays, advertise the channel. We're about to create an exploding crystal. It's going to be pretty cool. You guys, all you have to do is create the functionality to be able to switch between your portal gun and a regular gun. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to upload the assets to Up It. So give me just 1 second. Ready to Up It. In the meantime, if you guys have questions, let me hear them. Completely unrelated, but what are LERP, SLRP, and MathF? What do they do and what are they used for? So LERP stands for linear interpolation. It's basically a transition from 0 to 1 in a linear fashion. So like for instance, on a line, go from top to bottom very smoothly, you would use a LERP. A SLRP is a spherical interpolation. You use it for smooth rotations. MathF is also similar. It's used with LERP and SLRP. MathF allows you to just LERP a specific value. Instead of LERPing an entire game object, you might want to just LERP the x-axis. In order to do that, you would use MathF. I hope that answered your question. Let me see here. What we're going to do, we got 12 people in here. All right, guys, I'm uploading the crystal model that you all can download, and I'll walk you through the setup of that. Give me just 1 second here. Hopefully you guys are going to like this. It's really cool. We're going to go, let me see. Scenes, game, where is it? Prefabs, models. Okay, here we go. So we got the floating crystal FBX. All right, guys, this is uploading. Will you use Swift or Object-C in your iOS series? No, I will not be using Swift or Object-C. I actually hate Object-C. I've never, I tried it a couple years ago. No, thank you. I will be using strictly Unity. Xcode does exactly what I need it to do with porting over to iOS, so I'm going to keep it that way. All right, guys, here's the link for, here's the link. It's going to be posted on in the Facebook comments for the last giveaway we just did. You can download the, the assets that we're going to use here. So, Crystal, just go to that link, download the, not highlighted. Oh, there it is, okay. All right, so you can download the floating crystal, and basically what you're gonna have is you're gonna have a model that's 20 pieces, and we're gonna make it explode when you shoot it. So in the meantime, what you should be having here, and if you're just tuning in, you want to see what we've been working on. We've been creating a portal-like game where we recreated Portal. You have these portals, you can shoot portals, you can see through the portals, you can go through them, and all that good stuff. So here, and you can see that I can see myself in the portal. And basically what we're going to do now is we're going to put a crystal that's going to float right here, and I'm going to shoot it, and it's going to explode. So let's go ahead and get that crystal downloaded and import it into my project. I'm going to put it in my models folder. All right, so I'm going to go to that link. And if someone can, I put it in the comments, but if someone wants to post it in this like QA thing for others, please do post that link. All right, so let's go over to here and import that package. Let's see, we're going into the game, we're going into prefab materials models, going with crystal. All right, here we go, guys. I'm going to take it, putting it in my models folder, and what we're going to have here is a crystal FBX, and it comes with materials. Right now, it's just I'm actually going to make it purple. Make it like purple, lightish purple. All right, you can just put that on here. I don't know if it's going to do anything. Hold on. So what we have here, guys, is a crystal, okay? Now, we have two crystals. You have a floating crystal and you have a shattered crystal. And that floating crystal, go ahead and, give me 1 second. Go ahead and take this entire prefab, actually, no, I'm sorry, hold on. Let me see here which one it is. I think it's a shattered one. Okay, yeah. Okay, so go ahead and take the shattered crystal here and just put it in your scene. All right, and put it in the hierarchy. And what I'm going to do here is find where it is. So they're down here. You're going to see that you have two crystals here. Now, we actually don't need both of them. And what I'm going to do here, you can go ahead and scale them up, actually. So if you go click on the model here, the scale factor is already at 1, but let's set it to like 1.3. Okay, so here we go. That's a lot bigger. So now we got some crystals. Oh, actually, they're not that bigger. What did that do? I don't even know what that did. Set it back to 1. Okay, yeah, they're just small. Okay, so hold on. 10, 10, 10. Okay, hold on. This thing's like bugging out. Give me 1 second. Okay, hold on. We got some questions. Will you use Swift? No, I'm not going to use Swift. Is this the one I comment on? Yeah, so for the next one, the next giveaway, we're going to do more Twitter and Facebook stuff. You just have to comment on them. I guess your job is programming. If yes and not a private info, what do you program work on? Okay, so that question is, so am I a full-time professional programmer? Yes, I am a professional software engineer. I work for a company called CN2, and I create augmented reality apps using Unity 3D. So every day I get to work in Unity, and I create these awesome augmented reality apps. Unfortunately, though, I am not able to give tutorials on augmented reality, at least not in the current moment. But it is very cool. I love programming every day. It's a lot of fun. I love doing YouTube stuff still. So yeah. But yeah, it is my job. It is what I do. Let me see here. Okay, guys, here. So take this crystal here and take the whole thing. And just the model entirely, just put it in there, right here. You can just put everything in there. And we got these two crystals here, and we'll worry about the scale of them later. But what we're going to do here is you have 2 crystals. One of them comes in 20 pieces, like this. One of them doesn't. Delete the one that doesn't come in 20 pieces. It's just floating crystal. Just get rid of it. You don't need it. All right, now what we're going to do here is set the position of this to 0, 0, 0. And you can set the scale to, I guess, 2, 2, 2. No, it needs to stay like that. Hold on, the pivot point of this thing is so weird. It's like not correct. I don't know what that animation is, but I don't need it. All right, here we go. So ungroup the shattered crystal. You should just have the shattered crystal now. And make sure the pivot point is at its center. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and just raise it up here so that we can hopefully see it. And we can't yet. And for some reason, the scale, I have no idea what's wrong with this model. This scale is affecting its position. Okay, here, we can scale it up this way, though, it seems, or maybe not. I don't know. What's it doing? Okay, there we go. I can see the shadow, so I know it's doing something. Okay, there we go, guys. Check it out. We can see the crystal, finally. All right, so here's the crystal. What we're going to do is we're going to go on top of our platform, and we're going to shoot the crystal, okay? So what you need to do is when you go up here, you need to make it so that when you shoot, you're not shooting portals. So when you hit the Q key, you need to do something about it. All right, and obviously it's a little small still, so I'm actually going to scale it up some more. Just scale that thing as much as you need to. Not sure what's going on with that scale factor stuff, but okay. All right, so there we go. Now that looks much better. Let's go up here, check it out. Okay, there we go. That's a fine size crystal. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to shoot this crystal. I haven't used the HoloLens, but I've used Google Box, or I think it's Google Cardboard I've used. Okay, guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to shoot this crystal, okay? And when we shoot it, we're going to explode all the pieces inside it. Now, before we can do this, in order to do anything with physics, we need the rigid body component. So you'll notice that there's 20 pieces inside of here. So what you need to do, hold on, here's the scale issue. Check this out. Just delete this empty area, unparent that object. We just need this object, the crystal itself. Now we can actually scale this thing properly. All right, so we got a giant ass crystal there. Okay, so what we need to do now is we need to add physics components to every crystal piece. So you're going to go select all, hold down shift, and click all of them. And you're going to add a rigid body component. Now not rigid body 2D. You're going to add a rigid body component. And what we're going to do with this rigid body component, and if you're just tuning in, we're about to make this crystal explode. You need to add rigid body components, use gravity off, is kinematic true. And the logic behind this is when you shoot this crystal, it's going to have one main collider. It's going to have one main collider right here. And when you shoot the crystal, it's going to iterate through all of the children, and you're going to add an explosion force to each individual piece. And I'll show you how to do that. One thing I want to look at real quickly is what needs a collider. So I don't think these individual pieces need colliders. I do not believe so. Let me see what happens if we just use gravity on for one of them. It should fall. Okay, so it falls. You see that? Now, if we don't have a collider, it's going to fall through the map. So actually, go ahead and add mesh colliders to them. This is the only time you should probably ever use a mesh collider, by the way. Not good. Is kinematic true? Okay, so go ahead and select them all again. And you're going to add a mesh collider. Mesh collider. So now we have a bunch of collision pieces. All right? So you'll see here, if I scroll through them, each piece has a collider. It won't fall through the ground. All right, guys. Here's the last thing we need to do before we do any scripting. This main crystal here, it needs to have a collider. You're going to add a, let's go and add a, it's a weird shape, so let's go and add like a cylinder collider. I guess a capsule collider. And oh my gosh, the scale is huge. What is happening? Yeah, okay, there we go. It's much better. Hold on, I gotta bring these in though. All right, guys, so here, get your scale or get your collision to be like this, all right? What you're gonna wanna do is you want it to be, wow, what is wrong with this? Jeez. And then 0.03, 04, 05. All right, so there you go. So I have my radius set to 0.01 and 0.05. And what this is going to do, there will not be any Blender modeling tutorials. I do zero art. Hate art, have no interest in it. All right, guys. So what we're going to do now is when you shoot this collider, it's going to activate all those other colliders that are a child of this, and we're going to add explosion force to blow it up. Okay? So in order to do this, we need to detect it, basically. So if you hit this object, say, so this is the crystal, right? So we need a script on here that's going to explode the crystal, basically. And we're going to create a C# script, and you guys can go ahead and name this like shatter effect. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's create a new C# script here. Create a new C# script. Name it shatter effect. All right, and here's the logic for this one. So what we need to do is we're going to have a function here. We're going to say public void shatter. All right. When that function's called, all the magic's going to happen. You need to, first thing first is we have a main collider that is that capsule collider, right? First thing first, you need to disable that right away. So we need to disable that collider. So what we're going to do here is we need to first get a handle to that collider. So we say collider, my collider, equals get component, because we're on the same object. So we're going to grab that collider. Now that I have that collider, I'm going to say my collider dot enabled equals false. So when this shatter effect gets called, the first thing we do is we disable the collider. Now we have 20 pieces to work with. And what I need to do is I need to grab all 20 of those pieces. So I need to use, how do I store 20 of the same items? Who can tell me in the comments? What should I use? I need 20 items to iterate through. What can I store 20 items in that I can iterate through? They're all game objects. How do I iterate through all those game objects? What do they need to be stored in? Who can tell me in the Q&A? Come on, quick, quick, quick. What do we need to use? No one? Does nobody know? If you don't know, tell me you don't know. How do I iterate through 20 game objects? What can I store those 20 game objects with? Am I going to have 20 individual game object variables? Hello. So is that a no? You guys don't know? Array and a for each. Okay, thank you, Rollin. Right, so we can use an array and a for each. So using an array of type game object, we're going to grab all those elements. So let's go ahead and do that. So the logic here is we have, so here's where our script is. We're on the crystal object. All right, we're going to add our shatter effect script. And what we need to do is we need to create an array, and we need to grab all the children and put them in here. Okay? So the way we do that is we're going to say here game object array, and we're going to say we'll say all rigid bodies. Next time, we're going to do a rigid body. So we're going to store all those game objects inside this rigid body array. So I'm going to say all rigid bodies, and then I need to populate the array. So I need to go through all the children. So I'm going to say get components, plural, in children, and the component I want is rigid body. And it's going to populate that array. Now what's the next step? What do I need to do? We need to somehow iterate through that array. And array, I don't know. I do not know. Array is array. Okay, apparently everyone's answer just came through. It must have been late. Sorry, guys. Great. So everyone's correct. Arrays. So we populate the array by saying all rigid bodies equals get components in children. It's going to go into that first game object. It's going to go into every child, and it's going to grab the rigid body component, store it in the array. So now that we have access to all those glass individual pieces, we need to use a for loop and a for each loop. I will go ahead and do a for each loop, and you guys can, I guess I'll do both. It really doesn't matter, the same thing. I'll do a for each loop, and if someone wants to give the example of what a for loop would look like, that'd be awesome. Here's a for each loop. So we're going to say for each what? So basically, and we use var, so we don't have to, we can ignore it. So we're going to say for each, we'll say, sorry, I'm about to sneeze. Whoops, sorry. Okay, so, where was I? Okay, so we are going to, here is that online streaming usually lags 20 seconds from my experience. Okay, yeah, so you guys might be 20 seconds behind me. That's fine. So we have all rigid bodies equals get components and children rigid body. Now what we need to do is we need to iterate through each of those rigid bodies. We need to turn gravity on, is kinematic false, so we use the physics system. And then there's something called add explosion force. And that's what's actually going to blow up each piece. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say for each, we'll say glass. Okay, so for each glass in, or we'll say body, I guess, it makes more sense. So for each body in all rigid bodies, all right, array. So here, I'll name this array. So for each body in the all rigid bodies array, so for each object, okay, in all rigid bodies array, what do we want to do? We want to say body.useGravity equals true. We want to say body.is kinematic equals false, so that physics is taking place. And then now we want to say body add explosion force. And you'll see here that we have some parameters we can fill in. So it says here, add explosion force, float explosion force. I'm going to say 750 newtons. And then I'm going to say here, it says vector 3 explosion position. I want it to be at the current glass's position. So I'm going to say here, body dot, can I just say position? Body dot transform dot position. So for every element, we're going to add 750 newtons of force. Where are we going to add that force? We're going to add it at the current element, the current body that we're on, the current piece of glass. Its position is where we're going to add the force. And then we have an explosion radius. I don't really need the radius to be that big. I'm just going to say 1. So pretty much surrounding itself. And then we have another option here. We have upwards modifier. This is how much like of an explosion type, like a bomb being dropped and the smoke coming up. How high of an effect do you want this glass to go in the air? You should make it pretty low, so I'm going to go ahead and say like 3. Let's see how this looks. Now remember, if you haven't done this yet, you need to make it so that you can't shoot your portal with it. We need to make it so we can actually call this function, and I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So in my player script here, I'm going to have a, in my player script here, I'm actually going to go ahead and create a new, I'm going to create, when I left click, I'm just going to cast array. So I'm either going to say, I need to check if portal is active. So basically, I just need a variable that tells me if I can shoot my portal or not. So we're going to say here, public bool can shoot portals. And right now it's set to true, because it's going to be our default. All right, so you can shoot portals. Thank you, by the way. So you can shoot portals. And then what we're going to do here is you have your update here. So when you left click, you don't want to shoot portal yet if you can't shoot portals. You need to check that variable first. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say if can shoot portals equals true, then shoot portal. Obviously, if it doesn't equal true, then we're going to say else shoot gun. Let's say here, just normal shoot. Oh, sorry. Not that. All right, shoot. And we're going to do the same thing here. So if you right click, just check and see if you can shoot portals. If can shoot portals equals true, then you can shoot portal B. All right, and that's how simple it is to create that check. All right, so now for our shoot function. All right, so let's go ahead and create that. And that shoot function is basically the same thing as our portal shoot function. So here we're going to say shoot here, and we're going to do the same thing. So I'm going to cast array from the viewport. I'm going to store the hit info. Get that. I'm going to also cast the array and do all this good stuff. I'm going to just modify this part. So if physics.raycast ray origin out hit info. All right, so if we hit something, we need to check what we hit. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to check and see if, what we're going to do now is we need to grab the script that has our function effect, our shatter effects, right? So we need to call that function called shatter, which is part of the shatter effect script. So I need to create a handle onto it right here. So when I cast a ray and I shoot something, I need to grab the shatter effect script off the object we shot, which should be the crystal. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say shatter effect, and we're going to say shatter equals the hit info, which is the game object we hit. So hit info.collider gets you the objects you hit, and then I'm going to say .get component, and I want to get shatter. Now, before I can just use that shatter function, which is inside the shatter variable now, I need to check if the shatter exists on the objects we actually hit. So if this returns null and then you use the function, you're going to get a null reference exception error, which will cause your game to crash. Now, what we can do, though, is we can check if shatter not equal null, meaning that the object you hit does indeed have the component shatter effect. And if it does exist, you're going to say here, shatter, and then you see we have that public function called shatter. And this should work. So let's go ahead and test this out. Also, I need to make it actually so I can swap between that bool. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to say if input.getKey down keycode.q. So if you hit the Q key, right? What we're going to do if you hit the Q key is we're basically going to swap this value. So we're going to say here, can shoot portals equals can shoot portals with an exclamation point in front. So can shoot portals equals not can shoot portals. Now, if you don't understand that logic, it's actually really simple. At the default start of the game, what's the value of can shoot portals? It's true, right? So when you just put that there, it says true equals not true, which is what? False, right? So now the value is false. False equals not false, which is what? True. All right, so it swaps the values. So that's a pretty cool trick. It saves you an if-else statement. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. Let's go ahead and test it out. So when I hit Q, I shouldn't be able to shoot any more portals. All right, I hit Q, and I can't. If I hit Q again, I can. So let's go ahead and just make it up so I can get up here. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and hit Q. I'm going to shoot this crystal. Here we go. It's not working. Anyone else get those working? Oh shit, it did work. Ah, okay, hold on. All right, I hope you guys all saw what happened there. Damn, why did that happen? Looks like they all got the same. It moved up as one crystal, which isn't good. Oops. Okay, 1 second. Hit Q. Why did they all move up as one crystal? All right, 1 second, guys. Let me see what's on that crystal. We have this collider here, which gets turned off. Then we have all these pieces, which have mesh renderers and rigid bodies. Kinematic is. Hold on, let me make sure that these are actually getting turned true. Make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. So use gravity is kinematic false. That's weird. They shouldn't. Oh, hold on. Here we go. Non-convex mesh colliders with non-kinematic wedge bodies are no longer. Oh my god, are you serious? Holy shit. All right, guys, hold on. This is a Unity 5 thing. Non-convex mesh colliders with non-kinematic rigid bodies are no longer supported in Unity 5. All right, so pretty much Unity just like punched me in the face here. What we need to do, I'm worried to make them convex because it's gonna fucking, oh shit, it's gonna widen their collider. Let me see here, hold on. If we make it convex, oh, maybe not actually. Let's go ahead and try it. Usually convex makes it more reliable. So you should always use convex, but basically it's just gonna give it more shapes. You'll see that. Just more solid, more reliable pieces to hit. All right, so now let's go ahead and try it. If I shoot this thing, it's gonna explode. And there we go. So the glass breaks. Now that wasn't as dramatic as I wanted it to be. So let's actually, let's just test it out again. I'm gonna go up here. So make sure you change those colliders from mesh colliders to convex mesh. Just hit that convex checkbox. And when you shoot this thing, whoops, when you shoot it, it's gonna explode. Eventually. There we go. All right, so now you'll notice that there was no really big upwards modifier. So let's go and edit it. We can just increase it. So in my create portal script here, I'm sorry, in the shoot script here, I'm sorry, no, in the shadow effect script. Let's go ahead and say, like 7, and maybe like 1,300 newtons for that. By the way, if you're not sure what a newton is just a force unit. You can think of 1 unit as the force of pushing in a doorbell. You pushing a doorbell is 1 newton. All right, so we're doing 1,300 doorbells here. Let's go ahead and test this out. Oh, you get a little bit more of an upwards modifier. Not as much, so let's go ahead and make it even more drastic. And let's try and increase the radius too, maybe. Let's try like 2. Make this like 2,500 newtons. All right, let's see what's happening with this. We're gonna go and shoot the crystal. All right, there we go. So now it just exploded. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it back down to about 3 and maybe 2,000 newtons. All right, let's go and test that out. Let's see what happens here. And there you go. So it's even still like too much for my liking, but it goes everywhere. Let's go and let's try and get a good one that we all like. So I'm going to go and say here, let's change the radius back to 1. I'm going to set this to 1,500. All right, there we go. That was pretty cool. I'm happy with that one. So for the final result, guys, if you want to see everything we did in this game tonight, what we did here was we created some portal effects. You can use portals. You can see through the portals. You can go through them flawlessly. And what you'll see here is I'm going to shoot the crystal and end the night. And here we go. All right, so there you go. So you got some shattering glass. Thank you guys all for watching and tuning in. Hope you guys really enjoyed it. What I'm going to do here, we got 13 people in here. I have so many Uplay codes. I want to get rid of them all. If you guys want some Uplay codes, all you have to do is just share. You have to just tweet or Facebook. You have to just go on Twitter. Here we're gonna do a bunch of them actually here. Just go on Twitter here. All you have to do is retweet my tweet, and you'll be entered in to win some codes. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and say, let's see here. Created an awesome explosion. Let's see, create an awesome exploding crystal effect from DGI. So create an awesome exploding crystal effect from DGI in Unity 3D. Let's see here also. All right, guys, I just sent out a tweet. All you have to do is just retweet it, and you'll be entered into a raffle. I'm going to go ahead and give away, we got 11 people in here. I'll go ahead and give away 3 codes. So I will be hitting the space bar 3 times. We have 11 people. Go ahead. All you have to do is just retweet the tweet. I will even add in the bots to give it more variety. So if a bot hits, then we can roll again. I will give away 3 Uplay and Steam codes. All you have to do is retweet the tweet on Twitter. If you're not sure what the Twitter is, it's at DGI Students. At DGI Students. Make sure you're also following on Facebook.com, Digital Gaming Institute, and all that good stuff. And in the meantime, I'm going to, let me see here. I'm going to pull up my awesome video here, outro. And I appreciate everyone who watched. All you have to do, guys, like I said, just retweet the current status. And if you want some Uplay from Facebook, all you have to do is comment on the Facebook status, which is being created now. So you have 2 chances to win. You can win through Twitter, and you can win through Facebook. Let me see here. All right, guys. On Facebook, if you want to be entered into the Uplay and Steam codes, all you got to do is go to facebook.com/Digital Gaming Institute. Go to digitalgaminginstitute.com for all the links, and just comment with what was your favorite part about tonight's live stream, and we will go ahead and do the code generations. All right. So I got the code set up here. We got our light. All you guys have to do is all you guys have to do is just comment. So I'll give you guys about 3 minutes to go ahead and do that, or maybe 5 minutes to go ahead and do that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm also probably going to package up this Unity project. If anyone wants it, feel free to take it. I said I would actually show you guys some cool advanced stuff. I didn't really have time to cover delegates and events, and I really don't want to get into explaining it because it might not, it's going to be very fast. What I will tell you, though, is that the advanced concepts are so cool. If you guys want to see something amazing that you can simply do with the advanced concepts, these are called lambda expressions. What I can do is, if I wanted to, just to be fancy while you guys are voting, and this is what you will learn in the advanced series, is I'm going to go ahead and just cast this rigid body here to a list, because maybe I want to use a list more than I want to use a rigid body array, right? So maybe I want a rigid body list, which means I have to use using system.collections, right? So systems.collections.generic. And I want to use a list, but I can't iterate. How do I populate a list? I need to do it through the inspector or something, right? So I have a list here. So say we had a list of rigid bodies. You have a list of rigid bodies, and you say all rigid bodies list, okay? And then equals a new list. Now, how the hell do you populate this list? Well, you can actually typecast. In here the array of all rigid bodies array. If I save this, every element that's in the rigid body is going to be transported to every element inside the list array. Now, why would I want to do that? Like, why? Why would I ever want to do that? Well, a lambda expression is exactly why. Lambdas allow me to do this thing called a list.forEach. So I can say here, all rigid bodies list dot for each, and I can do a lambda expression. It's an action, and I'll cover these in the advanced series. But what I can do now is I can pass through something. I can say, for instance, obj, and it's going to go to or point to some functionality. So for instance, I want this to do what? I want to go ahead and say here, we're going to say obj.useGravity equals true. We're going to say obj.isKinematic equals true. I'm sorry, equals false. And then we're going to go ahead and say this line of code here. Then we're going to say obj.addExplosionForce. So if you're looking at this and you're not sure how to read any of this, then I suggest you subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I'm going to cover this in detail, how to know how to do this stuff. It's very cool. These are called lambda expressions, and this is called a list.forEach. It's exactly the same thing as a for each loop, but 10 times faster and more efficient to use. Lambda expressions. This is the lambda operator here. Very cool stuff. I look forward to doing videos on this. These are a little different than delegates and events, but they're all useful together. And obviously, they're very elite for programmers. Obviously, if you're pretty new to programming, you might not even be able to read that or understand what it's doing. So I highly recommend you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you guys are helping me share my channel. The more votes up it gets, the more views I get. Encourages me to help you guys learn the program like this, and hopefully some of you guys get careers and jobs and stuff like that. All right. I appreciate everyone watching. I'm going to go ahead and do the raffle now, and after that I will go ahead and play an outro video, and then that will be it. All right, so again, guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. If you guys want this script, I'm sorry, not this script, if you guys want this project, I will be happy to give you guys the project. And I got an error here, 1 second. Unexpected symbol. It's an all like. Oh, I don't think I need this. And let me see. AddExplosionForce does not exist. There you go. Yeah, so if you guys want this, script, or not the script, sorry, if you guys want this project, just let me know right now in the Q&A, and I'll be happy to upload it for you guys. The name body does not. Sorry, OBJ. All right, once I fix these errors, we will go ahead. Okay, good, errors fixed. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and let's go ahead and check out the Facebook names. We're gonna put everything into one. All right, so here we go on Digital Gaming Institute. All right, so it looks like we only got 3 comments. That's pretty sad, but it's all good. I think the problem here, okay, yeah, no, we're good. Hold on. Let me go ahead and do this. All right, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and put your guys' name in here, and then I'll check out the Twitter ones. So here, let's see here, we got 3 so far. We have Horvath, we have Andrew, and we have Hemi. All right, it's a really cool stream. My favorite part was when you said you would make networking tutorial. Otherwise, the render texture part was completely new to me. I thought it was super fun. You have an incredible talent for teaching, and I hope you continue to host these types of events. I definitely look forward to more sessions like these. Thank you. It was awesome. Glad I stumbled upon it. My favorite part was learning about render textures. Oh, and var equals not var is an awesome code saver. Absolutely. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Also, part was the render texture as well. I'm also looking forward to the networking tutorial. Sweet. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and check out Twitter here. Twitter is oof. All right, so let's see here. What do we have on Twitter? We have notifications. Hold on. Okay, so for some reason it's not just gonna show me as one. I don't know why. So 1 second, guys. I gotta like go through these and add them to the list. Let's see here. What do we have? Tweets. Okay, so we got 5 retweets on the DGI students. Let's see. Who are the 5? Show me. Why is it not showing me? Okay, here we go. Retweeted you. Basis now. Favorite tweets. Hold on, guys. 1 sec. Twitter is like showing me old stuff for some reason. Mentions. Let me see. Notifications. 20. Oh, here we go. 20 new ones. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Alrighty. Let's see here. So we have Mobile Future. All right, it looks like we got maybe like 10 in here. So let's add them. So we got Hemi. We have Mobile Future. Who else do we got in here? We got Course Games. We got Dion. Let's see, now we got Dion. Who else we got here? We have Indie Game Dev Robot. I'm going to add these guys for variety, so if they happen, then they're just wild cards. We roll again. So Indie Bot. We got Jay. Who else do we have in here? Let's see, we got Andrew. All right, Andrew did Twitter. If you guys do both, you get both. Let's see here. So we got Jay, we got Andrew. All right, and while I'm typing these, feel free to continue doing it. All right, and then we got Hemi again. All right, good stuff. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and run this, and I'm going to go ahead and hit space 3 times here. All right, so actually I'm going to fix this error first so we can get this awesome dramaticness out of the way. The reason why we're getting this error, by the way, is because we have an audio listener. You should only ever have 1 audio listener per camera. So if you have 1 camera in your scene, that's the audio listener. Never have more audio than 1. Alrighty, let's go ahead and test it out. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit space and this winner. And all you guys have to do to retrieve these is whether you win from Facebook or Twitter, you just have to message me from those names, and I will give you your You Playing Steam codes. So our first winner is the winner is Horvath. All right, so first winner is Horvath. So congratulations to Horvath. Thanks for watching. The second winner is going to be Hemi. All right, so Hemi, thanks for watching. Congratulations. And our third and final winner, guys, is 3, 2, 1. Whoops. All right, is course games. All right, cool stuff. All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate everything. I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys with an outro video. If you won Horvath Hemming course games, all you have to do is just send me a message on Facebook and Twitter saying you just run the recent challenge, and I will send you Steam and Uplay codes. I have many more, guys, so when I do another live stream, make sure you guys tune in. Make sure you're subscribing to my YouTube channel, Facebook, digitalgaminginstitute.com. We're rolling out with Cody's Lab this month. It's going to be pretty sweet. Thanks again, guys, and I will leave you all with, wait for it, gotta find it, hold on. Alrighty. Take care, guys.